It says we're live all across the board.
Cool. Good evening, everybody. Today is Tuesday, July the 7th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Thank you for joining Rex Sisters on this special, well, it is still special, post holiday 4th of July special. Crazy B and I have been looking at all the things that have taken place during the 4th of July festivities. We had planned, as you know, dropping a pre record, which we will save for another day.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I had surgery at 11 o'clock and was home earlier than expected by, well, I left the hospital after 2:30ish. I don't remember what time I called Crazy B. I'd have to look and see. But I called her from the Sheets parking lot. Every time I have surgery at this hospital, I stop at Sheets and get quesadilla, a salad, which I'm going to get up and go get shortly because I haven't eaten dinner. Chicken salad, actually, and then a pretzel. Maybe I'll eat the pretzel and a Diet Mountain Dew. I requested the following. I said specifically no type of sour, any kind of candy.
Uh-huh.
I said I would like either like candy coins or Swedish fish or something like that. However, in the package was a pack of frickin' sour uh, licorice.
Okay.
Is that what I requested?
Depending on which language you spoke,
Just why?
because
I don't
sometimes
understand.
people forget and they just make do because sometimes they don't want to call and pester because then it's like, well, you keep calling me. Why can't you just remember? I've remembered going through a couple moods like that before with Danny.
I'm
It's like, oh God,
telling you.
just write it down. Is it so hard to write things down?
Well, call
And
me
if they
from the
don't have
call me.
it,
You know what I mean? Like call
and if
me
they don't have
if
it,
you're
just
not
keep,
sure.
yeah, if they don't have it, go with something similar. Not, and then again, if I tell you, write down no sour, just anything other than sour.
Right, right. Or you know what I said? Don't get it at all. Don't buy anything. Don't waste the money. Or is it that you wanted it?
Ah, that could
Anyway,
be.
I'm looking yeah, I'm looking at my phone. I called you at 2:15, so
Yeah.
I left the hospital at 2. So I got home, fell asleep, and I just woke up. So we made the live. Uh I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. I'm tired, but like you said, anesthesia is a wonderful thing.
Oh, yes, it
Uh,
is. And so are
no, yeah,
rainstorms.
no,
Rainstorms will put me to sleep
yes,
too.
right. It was nasty weather here. Um, I love my doctor. He's so freaking hilarious. So he comes in, you know, they have an awesome suite. The nurses were great. So he comes into your room that they put you in prior to you going into surgery.
Hmm.
So he came in. He goes, Dee, I love you. He goes, I love the love notes that you leave me because I give him a note of what I need from him. So I had all the scripts that I needed from him so that he wouldn't forget. I wrote down what he was supposed to do in the operating room so he wouldn't forget. And then the one that really kills him is my playlist,
Hmm.
which we won't discuss, but I give him my playlist. So I get into the operating room. What doctor do you know when you're laying on the operating table and the anesthesiologist has you and she's manipulating your body and all kind of contortions to get you ready. Like I got to put the pillow under your shoulders and have your
Yeah.
head, your neck back and your chin lifted up. And the nurse got one arm and somebody got the other arm. They got your legs and they're wrapping your body so you're not falling off this little table. He comes over with his cell phone. He's playing my first song. He's like, "Dee, is this what you wanted?" And I just started to laugh. And I
Uh-huh.
said, "Yeah, it's what I wanted." I said, "But it's not loud enough." He goes, "Okay, I'll put it on the overhead speakers." So he puts it on the overhead speakers in the OR. It was just so fantastic. You know what I mean? Like, I just,
Love it.
it, yeah. And they say that music in the operating room makes a
Mhm.
difference
It does.
in in your surgeries as to how you're going to recuperate
Mhm.
or how you're going to get through the surgery. They
It sets
claim
kind
that
of a
if they
good
play,
mood.
yes, it sets the mood, and it can be classical music, rock music, whatever you like. And so whatever floated my boat, I said to him, "I want you to play just put the whole album on and I'll be happy." So when they knew what the album was, they just cracked up. And then that led into a whole discussion before I was even put under. We were just
Mhm.
talking. You know what I mean? Like, and
The
I
more
was
relaxed
just
the
so,
doctor is, the more relaxed the patient is, the better things will go. Yeah.
thank
It
you.
makes sense. It
Thank
is
you.
so, I'm not trying to cut
Thank you.
in or anything.
Yeah.
I like that your doctor
Yeah.
has that mindset.
Yes. I love him. I mean, uh, there are I mean, he's the doctor that I went in, one year I went in and I had various songs I wanted them to play, and I taped the
Uh-huh.
list to my stomach,
Yep.
and it was under my gown. And so when you go in, what they basically do, if you don't know, is they take your gown off of you and you end up getting covered up with a warm blanket. And that was another funny freaking thing. So the one nurse takes the warm blanket and she throws it up in the air, and why I'm strapped down, so my arms are, like in a cross, like you're
Mhm.
hung on a cross, and they're strapped and you cannot move. And the anesthesiologist is positioning my shoulders and my neck and my head. And the one nurse takes the warm blanket and she throws it up and she covers my face. And the blanket was so heavy that I couldn't breathe. And I'm like, "What are you guys trying to do? Kill me?" I'm like, "Are you not using anesthesia? You're trying to put me under with, heat, because
Suffocation.
it was so hot." Yeah, we were laughing our ass off. It was so funny. It was hilarious.
That
And
is
it
awesome.
just made, yeah, it just made for the laughter and the care. And, you know, I felt love in the room. It just made for a good experience. And so when I came to, uh, I was back in the same room that, I was in when I got there. So they wheel
Mhm.
you right. You don't go into a recovery suite anymore. You go back to your room. And I think that makes a difference too, because you're not with all these patients moaning and groaning, uh, who, have just
Yeah,
come
they're
from
coming out
surgery. And I
and
think,
they're
yeah,
vomiting and gagging
yes,
and all that. It's like, oh my
yep,
lord.
yep,
Yeah,
yep. I think it makes a difference. And
it
so I
really
think
does.
yeah, I think they might be on to something uh, in this particular hospital. Um, which is this hospital is not, it's separate from the usual places that I go to. Um, and fortunately, insurance still accepts them. So, I
Good.
pray every time that, that I get to go there. So it was a good day. I'm happy. I'm
I'm glad
happy.
that went
I
so
talked to
well.
you. Yeah, I talked to you while I was getting dressed, and you heard Eric screaming at me. Yeah, yeah, that was
You
fun,
still
wasn't
had a
it?
few minutes. Like,
Yeah,
it's okay.
yeah, I wasn't late, was I?
Uh,
Yeah,
Pushing it, but
you
not
got to
great.
hear. Yeah, we were laughing our ass off, weren't we? It
Mm-hmm.
was funny.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. He he should have heard him down in the other room having a conniption fit because you were talking to me. I got blamed, by the way.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah. You don't need to be talking to her. You talk to her all the time. What are you
Yep.
doing? Let's go. We gotta go. We gotta go. Oh my God, he was having a freaking conniption. It's pretty funny though. We were
Oh, it
laughing.
is.
And you're like, okay, I'll let you go. And I'm like, I don't need to go. I'm still getting dressed. I can multitask. You know what I mean? I'm putting on my underwear. You know?
Oh yeah.
That was funny. Yeah.
Oh God.
So it was a joyful day.
It was a good one. From beginning to,
Yeah, it
well,
was.
current, we're still doing good.
Right. And so what's going on your end? How are you
I
feeling?
I'm
You
alive.
had some good news. No, but when I was in the parking lot getting ready
Yeah.
to, yeah, you said to me, now wait, don't go. I got good news. And what was your
I,
good news?
the biologic my asthma doctor wants me to go on will be here tomorrow, between 10 and
Good.
12, according to UPS.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
will be able to start my Dupixent. And hopefully that will help with my asthma, my skin, and inflammation in my body overall. So,
That's
fingers
awesome.
crossed. That's one more illness that we will have under control. Still don't got the back spasms under control. Go frickin' figure. But I have to
Right.
be on all this insane stuff to get the other stuff under control so we can figure out what's causing the back spasms. It has been a nightmare trying to figure this out. And it's been since 2019 that we've been
Wow.
going and doing this, ruling that out, do that, do another session of physical therapy. All right, time to cool down from that. Let's try this. Let's try that. Go to this specialist. Go to that specialist. It's like, for the love of God, just someone tell me what's wrong with my back.
Well,
But at least we're getting
just
the other stuff under control. The other stuff
right.
really is great. I'm still loving the methotrexate. Um,
Right.
Definitely making a big difference in, which is oddly, methotrexate is also been used in the past to treat eczema and other skin conditions. And I
Right.
noticed that, like, even my nails um aren't as rigid as they used to be, and they're not peeling like they were. um there's a
Okay.
little bit of change in my skin, and I noticed this before I went to dermatology. And dermatology is the ones that told me methotrexate has been used for skin conditions in the past. And like I
Right.
said,
But
it's been,
that's not the primary reason you got it though, right?
yeah, it's because they believe it's a autoimmune condition. And so,
Right.
like, I mean, it's been raining all day. I can still bend my knees, twist my back, move my fingers without feeling like there's railroad spikes in all of my joints. So
Uh-huh.
obviously, this medicine is doing what it's supposed to be doing. And
Right.
if we can knock out, let's say I take Dupixent every 2 weeks for the rest of my life, and we knock out some of these inhalers and other things, I'll take it. I will take it in a
Right.
heartbeat because I already got enough on my plate. I ain't doing no more.
No, you'll do what's necessary, trust me.
I don't know. I think
Yeah. Yeah.
Jazz
Yeah.
is good enough to crack the broomstick over someone's head if they don't do the what she asks them to.
Well, I mean, you know my situation and I'm hoping
I'm hoping
that maybe
everything,
that might be,
you know,
yeah, that might be a solution that they didn't think about, but I don't know. We'll see.
hey, you never
I'm sure
know.
he'll have,
Rheumatology is
yeah,
the
you
best
never,
ones to ask.
yep, yep. Well, I finally did all those tests that rheumatology wanted, so we're waiting for those results. And
Yeah.
some of them take
And
a while to get back.
they work best when you take them at the time of the flare up or when the doctor really, because it can change within a matter of days. Sometimes it need a
Yes,
week, so that's why the doctors tend to push to get it done right away.
right.
And that's
Well,
for
I'm
everybody in
hoping,
the audience too.
yes,
When your doctor wants blood work, they want it at that time for a reason, because your blood sugar levels can change, your cholesterol can change over a few weeks. Even
mm-hmm,
if you put it off a month, it can change. Um,
right,
Various things. Your uh, like in my case, the inflammatory markers, they stayed elevated for more than 6 months. So finally, we've got to send me into a rheumatology to figure out what's going on.
right.
Various things in the blood work really are kind of important to get right away because they can fluctuate. Cholesterol is a little
Well,
bit slower, but I just threw it in there because it can change.
we shall see.
Mm-hmm. Fingers crossed, knocking on wood, all goes well, right?
Yep. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, other than that, weather's kind of crappy. It was
Same here.
rainy all day. Yeah,
Still got
miserable.
thunderstorms rolling by.
Yeah. I had last night uh a little incident that you and I talked about. Jacob came down and was EJ was with him, and the claim was that they wanted to give me a kiss, and I could see that Jake was distraught and he was ready to have a breakdown. And I said to him, "What's wrong?" And he said, "Daddy's being mean." And I said, "In what way?" And here EJ's trying to start to get him into shape because Jake is has some
Ah,
growth issues. And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" And Jacob says to me, he's having a heart attack. And I tried not to laugh. I mean,
that's called a cardio workout, sweetheart, not a heart attack.
correct. That's exactly what it was a cardio workout.
Mm-hmm.
And his heart was racing, but he thought his chest was hurting and he was having a heart attack. And it
Because
was
he's not
just so
used to it.
fucking correct. He was so fucking precious. I just enveloped him in my
Yep.
arms
That's when you just do.
and
Yep.
tried
Pick him up.
not to laugh. You know what I mean? Like I just tried not to laugh. And
Well,
so I
yeah.
talked to him and I then said to my son, "You're going to force him to do a cardio workout and have him have a heart attack, motherfucker. Your ass." Yeah, that's exactly what I said, motherfucker. And I said, "Instead of telling him what to do, you are going to do it with him too because you are
Ah,
fat and
ah.
overweight."
Good job. Get them both on it.
Yeah.
Where's the applause
I
button?
was
Hold on.
like,
I think I have an applause button here. Hold on.
okay, okay,
There we go. An applause button just got
I did,
played.
okay.
I know you can't
I
hear it,
was
but it's
like,
in the studio.
yes, okay, cool. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I spent the next 15 minutes, telling Jake anytime his dad gets out of control with this exercise shit, just call me. And then explaining to Jake, what it means to have a cardio workout and that it's going to take a good 7 days for him
Easily.
to yes, easily, to get him up and running and what it feels like to have a cardio workout. And I said, trust me that within, a couple weeks, your body's going to be craving that feeling to have those endorphins hit with exercise.
I wasn't
And
much of a runner, but I was the martial arts, the swimming, the hiking,
yes,
anything
well,
other than
anything to get
sitting
your heart rate.
inside.
Yeah, well, you need something to do to get your heart rate up. So if it isn't swimming,
Watch videos
I
where
have the
babies are about
recumbent
to
bike.
fall off of a ledge or fall down the stairs.
Yes.
Watch those videos. That's the equivalent. Or be disabled and try taking a shower, getting dressed while half dried because you couldn't reach your entire back, and now your bra's sticking instead of sliding around to the front the way it's supposed to.
There you
That's a
go.
workout.
That works. That works too. I mean, I have the recumbent bike down here. He could come down and bike. Swimming
Mm-hmm.
is another thing. I said to him, do you remember looking at all of Nini's medals? I said, that is a cardio workout. I didn't get those medals by just, jumping up and down in the pool. I had to
Nope.
have a cardio workout. I said,
Well,
I will
now they
come
give
to camp.
participation trophies, so I mean,
Hmm. Yep.
we got to undo that
So
damage.
yeah, I'm gonna show him. I think I might go up to camp. I haven't been up there at all this summer.
Mm,
So I may go up this weekend and show him what it means to do a cardio workout when you're swimming. Because he's a
yeah.
good swimmer, but if he'd put forth the effort. But I mean, I was just, I jumped on my son like, are you kidding? He was making him lift 25-pound weights. And
That
the
might
other
be a
thing
little
that
extreme to start. I would have started with like 15.
that's what I said. And the other
Oh,
thing
good.
is there is something to that I have read that you have to watch the weight limit that you put on kids because
Uh
it
huh.
can cause their bones to fracture.
And it can put
So,
extra strain on the heart, tear muscles, tear
right.
ligaments. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes, you
So I
have to
told him that
watch
I
it.
thought he was being, yeah. I said, you're making him lift 25 pounds. I want you to go pick up 200 pounds. Now
And I
he's
bet he
lifting
looked at
that
you
kind of
like a
shit.
deer in the headlights.
Exactly. I said, don't fuck with my grandson. I
Get
said,
him
because you
working up,
won't
but
win the
work with him.
battle. Yeah. I said, yeah, exactly. Work with him, not, dictate, do this. I'm on the phone. He goes, drop to the floor, do 50 sit ups. I said, motherfucker, drop to the floor, do 50, push ups, do 50 sit ups, 50 jumping jacks. Let's go, EJ. Let's go. Snap shit. That's
Huh?
exactly what you sound like. And I told Jake anytime he gets out of control to just call me. So I found out from my daughter-in-law, he went to bed angry, and that's not like him. They
Aw.
usually make up, and so he's pissed. So
Well,
he
the
came
thing
down,
is 9 years of not really being on an exercise regimen, now getting
right,
one.
makes a difference.
Uh
Yes,
huh. I
makes
can
a
see why he'd be a
difference.
little
So,
irked.
right. So I talked to him again. He came down for a stick of butter, and so I talked to him again and, told him not to be mad and to just do what he could. And if he really is struggling, to tell his dad he hurts. And I said, if your dad gets out of control, just call me. So we may have an interruption uh,
That's
with a phone
understandable, though.
going, yeah, Nene, daddy's out of control. So I might have to
Hey,
step in and throw out a motherfucker here or there.
hey, we all got to do what we got to do.
Ugh.
I mean, my kids watched me. Well, I don't know if they remember how much I used to bike and walk, like
Hmm.
everywhere for so many years. We're talking like 5, 6 years. Just
Hmm.
straight up. I had a car sometimes, but it didn't always go well. So, I always had a bike available, and if I didn't have a bike, God gave me two dang feet. I'm going to use them.
Right.
So, I
Mm-hmm.
used to be very active. I mean, shit, I stand 5'9", and my average weight for most of my adult life was around 150 after having two kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then for a period of time, I jumped to 170, but then went back down to 150. And again, that's really not healthy. That's considered underweight. Hey, cannabis. But yeah, no,
Hi,
my kids.
cannabis.
I'm shocked my kids aren't more active after seeing me being so active for so many years. I mean, yeah, it
We used
sucks
to,
now that I'm
yeah,
stuck in bed and I can't go do these things with them. But I think
right,
them pushing me around town in the wheelchair might need to be a thing in the fall, like in the spring and the
right.
fall on good days when it's not too sunny.
When
I
the,
can put on like a
mm-hmm.
flannel or something, throw on my gloves and my face covering for protecting me from the sunlight, and
Right.
have them start pushing my fat ass around. That'll give them some cardio and a workout.
Exit. Yeah,
They can go
exactly.
hit that
Plus,
cemetery around the corner.
yeah, we used to, I'd come home from work, get changed, I'd have the kids get them changed, get in the car, load up the dog, I'd drive 25 minutes, pick up my mother, and then
Mm-hmm.
after a while she decided I would just meet her at the park with her dog. She brought her
Yeah.
dog along. And she EJ went to the pound, and my mother wanted to get a little dog, and she came home with a 95-pound dog. So this dog
Oh
needed
no.
exercise. Yeah, they named the dog Jumper because it jumped everywhere. So
What
we
breed
would
was
meet at the
that?
park. It was some type of mix. I have no clue, Crazy Bee, what it
Okay.
was. It was some mix, something or other from the pound, and
A mutt.
it was a mutt. And so this dog needed exercise, so we would go to the park, and my kids would either walk or they would rollerblade, usually 2.5 miles around the park every day,
Yep.
every day. And they
Well, I've
forget
told you
that.
before
And
I
that's
used
what
to
kept
swim
them,
to
yeah.
town with a bag
Hmm.
for my clothes to get around town and then swim back home or walk home.
Right.
We lived off the base,
And
so I
I
might
had,
as well.
you know, and here comes Eric's coming home. He's going to be hollering because he told me not to go live. So, uh, yeah,
Oh
he's like,
wait,
"Are you
what?
crazy?"
What?
Yeah,
You failed
he's
to
going to
tell
be
me
mad.
that. You didn't
Well,
tell me because
whatever.
I might have sided with him, and you knew
Hey,
it.
I get to make, I know, I get to make some of my own decisions. I told him I was
We take that into
okay. I said, what,
consideration,
right?
but
I
he
know.
knows you
He's like,
too,
are
and he
you
knows you might need rest.
right? Yeah, he's going to be bitching when he comes in. So we're going to hear
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah. But,
Oh.
I used to, at the one job at the medical manufacturing plant, I used to, go past the YMCA. And
Mhm.
I said to myself, I'm driving by this place every day. I need to join. And so
Mhm.
I'd get up every morning at 4:30 in the morning and go to the Y, and I'd swim over an hour every day. I'd get
Mhm.
out of the water, get a shower, get dressed, put makeup on, put my clothes on, and then go into the office. And
Mhm.
I wore dress clothes there, and I would just put everything in a bag and I would just, get ready. And then after that, when I moved to the nonprofit org, I would just get up in the morning and we have a recumbent bike. I would bike or do cardio to some video or whatever. And I
Mhm.
really need to get my ass doing the exercises from the nursing facility, and that
I
would
do.
probably
Yep.
help
I
out
was
on
gonna
a
say I
lot.
do my physical therapy from back leg lifts, twist,
Mhm.
rotate,
Yep.
arch your back kind of into a bridge position, building up the core muscles. But
Yeah.
it doesn't seem to make much difference, like I told them, but I
Well,
still do anyways, so I don't get
yeah,
weaker than I already am.
right. And I think I do that too. Like I can still lift my leg over my head.
I can't
And
quite
I
do
think
that.
that's pretty,
My flexibility
yeah.
is not there.
Yeah, I've always been flexible, so I have that going for me, but I think I could probably do more than I am doing.
I
It's
used to
just I'm
kick
too
over
damn
my head.
tired.
I used to be able to kick up and
Mm-hmm.
over my head and hit whatever's behind me, to a degree. Obviously not like 3 feet behind me, but if someone was
Right.
standing behind me and had me by my throat, I could kick them in the nose, um, type
Mm-hmm.
of thing. So I need to get. I wish I could get back to that level of flexibility, but I don't think I'll be able to with this back spasm that I have. But like, I mean, I was
Right.
in the bathroom today, and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm gonna reach my foot over to flush the toilet because it requires a good stretch. It's like almost the equivalent of doing a side kick, kind of a low side kick. And so,
Right.
I just kind of lift my leg up, reach over. Every time I open the fridge, I use it to balance, to do some kind of like stretching kick, move my hips a little,
Right.
rotate. I've used the counter to do it, the back of the couch. I mean, for all the
See,
for all the
yeah,
times you hear Danny say, "Oh, you just stay in bed all day, you don't do nothing." Yes, actually, I frickin' do.
yes, you do. And see, and it would behoove me, you've seen the bar that Eric put up for
Mm-hmm.
me so that I can get from the
Ballet
office
bar.
into
Well,
the
you're
other
right
part.
there.
Yeah, I have a ballet bar. You know what I mean? So there's no reason why I can't
Yeah.
do
Don't see it
ballet
as a
type
handicap bar.
exercises.
It is not a handicap
Right,
bar. It's a ballet bar.
ballet bar, yeah. And so when I could take Jacob and we could do exercises
Mm-hmm.
up, down, leg lifts, side to side, just to get those hip muscles and
Mm-hmm.
legs and all that going. So I
Yeah.
think that hey babe, how you doing? Are you okay? We'll go get something to drink and sit down. You can take my salad if you want it. Okay.
Chances of him coming in,
Okay.
seeing what you're doing.
No, yeah. That and plus he had a rough day. He drove me down to the hospital and then I just get dropped off. He doesn't stay.
Yeah.
No, it'll be fine. I don't like anybody waiting for me, so I've
Yeah.
had major life altering uh possible die on the operating table and I don't let anybody wait for me. They go to work, they stay home. If they don't work, they're at home doing their usual thing. I don't like it. So
Yeah.
I just get dropped off and then when it's time to get picked up or after work or whatever, they can come down and see me. But so he had a busy day. It's so hot that air conditioning units and stuff are breaking down left and right. So he's
That's
traveling
the
all
problem
over
down
the
here too.
uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
He's traveling all over the world trying to take care of stuff and a lot of it is the units are so old that they're
They give
not
out.
viable. Yeah, they can't be fixed, so now they have to get new units. It's a mess. So he's
Oh, I get it.
overwhelmed.
Well, it's this.
Hmm.
Well, it's actually everywhere. A lot of places are having these problems. I mean, well, hell, what our
Hmm.
situation was. Some cats got a hold of the
Right.
ducks, and we had to
Yep.
bring a window unit down to help push our central air a little easier and not
Right.
burn it up.
Right.
And it's
Well,
like,
not
I mean,
only
it's not my
and not
favorite
only
thing to
that,
do.
you sent Buddy down to
Yeah,
tape up
patch it
those
up.
ducts. Yeah, the best
Mm-hmm.
that he could because of what the cats did.
Yeah, because normally our
So
AC could
things
keep
are
up even with that shredding that happened.
right.
But with
Right.
how this heat wave was, it can't keep
Hmm.
up. There's no
Right.
way. And so, like, yeah, we had to turn around, go under there, patch what we can, and also bring a window unit. I mean, the house has been at like 75 all day, and the thermostat set for 70. If I wanted it to be 70, I'd have to drop it down to like 60 something, and I still don't think the central air can keep up with it. So, I've been
Right,
tolerating
right,
hotter temperatures than I normally can. I mean, my skin's paying for it really bad. My skin has been itching. It's driving me nuts. Um, yeah, I don't do well in heat.
right. That sucks.
Yeah, but $300 to fix it. Oof, we got to see if we can put half from this check and some from the next check.
Yeah, but by
About that time,
then,
the heat wave will
geez,
be
you'll
over.
be baked. Yeah, you'll be telling me, Dee, it's winter time now. We need to turn the furnace on. That's
I
what
know.
sucks,
When
when
you
you have
have to
something
save up for a
happen.
repair.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. That's what happens when, you have a major appliance, whether it's,
Well, the
a
latest it will
washer and
be is
dryer.
like,
Yeah.
I believe the latest it will be is let's see, it's July. Can't pull money out till 30 days after he pays that off. So end of August is when we'll be able to truly fix the um, central air system.
Mm.
So right about fall time, but it does stay hot until like
Well, if
October,
it's if it's
November.
if it's any consolation, I have the parts now have come in to fix the dryer.
Mm-hmm.
But because I pulled the button out and he can now hit it and make it work, although it doesn't frickin' work for me.
Uh huh.
And I've been told that I don't need to be down there doing laundry because I shouldn't really be down there doing laundry. But I go down there anyway. You have to beat the motherfucker to get the dryer to come on. I mean, I hear him pounding on the thing. And the only way I could probably do it is if I took a rubber mallet to it.
It
That's the only,
might
that's
be time to replace
to,
the
to,
switches and the
with the
motherboard on it.
parts, you think with the parts that I bought that are sitting here, you would
Oh,
think, but no, I have them. But because he can get it to come on, he's like, he doesn't want to be bothered taking it apart.
yeah.
So I can't use
Well,
the dryer.
but I kind of get it. I mean, he's dealing with like system heating and cooling all day, electronics, fighting with all that stuff, and then to come home and fight with another one. It's like I get where that would be annoying, but we know you can't do it because that's a dangerous thing to
Hmm.
do. So yeah, it's gonna have to be one of those suck it up. We got this. We can make it work.
So in the morning, yeah, so in the morning before he goes down the basement, I have to say, please leave the washer open so I can wash a load of clothes so that he can put them in the dryer and turn the damn dryer on. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Cannabis is
Gotta
sitting over
love
there
it.
saying he has a swamp cooler. It runs 24/7. I need to get a swamp cooler. That would be nice to have,
Yeah,
but
for real. Uh-huh.
that's on the to-do list one day, right?
Why don't you explain to the audience what that is so they know?
It um actually, you know what? I'll save you all the headache. I'll just go pull up a picture.
Uh,
There, that'll make life easier because my brain
uh-huh.
and
I think
words
that will
today.
be.
Okay, let me just
And
pull this
here's
over here.
Rex Sisters doing live research for you.
Uh, Something on the lines of research. So basically, it's
Okay.
a room unit, a portable AC.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Cannabis, do you find that it works? And then second question is, do you drag it from room to room? So if you're in the living room, uh, when you're done, say, watching TV or whatever, then do you take it in the bedroom at night, or do you have a couple of them? Okay, Crazy B. He wants you to look at a specific
I'm
brand.
already pulling it up right here.
Okay, there you go.
So there's a few options on how you can get them, different models. Yes, it works. No, mine is a whole house model. Okay, so kind of like
Oh,
what we're
okay.
seeing here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you can get the kind of central air type ones, and that one's a rooftop one. My son might appreciate
Yeah,
that.
for real.
But yeah,
You know
they're
what? Click on that. Crazy B. Go back and click on that. Let's see what the prices are on a couple of them.
one thousand and twenty
So
eight
that's a
dollars.
okay.
It's an investment, but it's one that's usually worth it.
Mm-hmm. And why don't you click on a couple others just so we have a
Let's
rough
click on a
idea?
portable. Portable's out of stock, but it's $611.
Okay.
That one covers cubic feet per minute. So that blows 3,500 cubic feet per minute. Nice. It looks like it covers
Yeah, that's
500,
a
oh,
sweet
900
spot.
square foot. This little thing would cool the entire house down, is what it's telling me.
Right. The only thing I don't like about it is it's got a low rating.
He says you can get it for cheaper at Home Depot. Well, according to them, this is this Home Depot that the site's at?
Yeah,
No,
that
that's from
is.
them directly.
Yeah.
That's from them
Oh, okay.
directly. Oh no, that is the Home Depot price.
Yeah, that is Home Depot. And it's not rated that high. I don't like that about it. Well, looks like it's a portable one too.
Yeah, that's the roll around your
It
house
could,
one.
that could be the different. Let's check out this window one.
The 1,600 square foot.
Yeah,
That's like two of my
right,
houses, almost three. Um,
right.
they're not giving a price. We have to go visit the store. Let's go do that.
Okay.
Out, blinded by the white light. Oops, something went wrong. Yep,
Of
go figure.
course.
Home Depot hates me because I use things to prevent them from being assholes. Um, but yeah, um, for the most part, they're decent. I mean, this one goes right into the side of the house.
Right. Yeah, click on that. I just want to see if it shows the inside. That's funny.
I don't know if
Just
it's
cut a
a.
hole in the
Yeah, you basically
yeah,
can. Hold on, he's
right.
got to
Cut a
do
hole
this.
in the side of the house and just plop it in, and there you go.
Yeah, I've
Unless
seen
it's a
apartments. See,
unless
yeah,
it's a
they literally.
window that's beside the window. I don't know.
No, actually, I've seen apartment complexes
No,
where everything is
they
just
cut
through
it.
the
Yeah,
wall. They cut
right,
that up. They did a pack job. Oh my god, that drywall has been like you can see it's been hacked. Oh, they could have at least made it a little smoother. They're gonna have to file that
right.
down and then mud it before they can.
Well, you know what? They probably don't care because they're just plopping the unit in, so they don't care.
It could still lead to warping
I
later.
know. I know. I'm
you,
just
you can
saying though.
tell. You can tell. I have been around drywalling quite a long time. There's a smaller one that they
Hmm.
just put up into the right up into the wall. Hmm.
Right,
So yeah, I don't blame them. It's not a bad deal, and
right.
I mean, couple little buttons and magic.
Hmm.
But yeah, I need to get a portable one. I do.
And if you don't have that, a good investment is to install an attic fan to
Oh
suck the heat
yes.
out of the attic because you cannot believe the cost that you pay both in the summer and the winter time,
Uh huh.
especially especially if it's not insulated. You're paying
Yep.
big bills.
Yes, you are.
Hmm. So,
Oh yeah. Let's see. Shopping. Here we are, window shopping again. Yeah, average price in my
there you
area.
go.
I mean, this one is 500 on eBay. I don't think this is my area. I think no, I have my
Mm-hmm.
IP blocked through this, so it doesn't know where the hell I am. So I who knows. Um, but yeah, something like this upstairs for Buddy. I mean, until we either own the house or get a different one, it's something like this would be needed. And we could just put it
Yeah,
downstairs, kind of in the hallway, central, like where the kitchen and everything all comes together, and then have fans sucking it upstairs and into the different rooms.
let me see real quick.
Oh, Ace has it.
If
Also, look on Amazon. That's a
yeah,
good question.
yeah,
Do they
I
even
wanna
have it
look,
on Amazon?
but I wanna look real quick to see if a search uh makes a difference because of being from the north and the south. Okay.
Well, again, my
So I'm
IP is
looking up
blocked.
on,
So
yeah, I get that. Okay, so I'm looking up on air, what, Durango, what? I can't see the
it's a
whole
swamp
chat there,
cooler.
Crazy B. What's,
It's a Here. I'll drop it into
wait,
the
okay,
Discord chat. Oh no, here. There's what I. You
okay,
got.
no,
All you got
because
to do is search for.
I'm on, no, I'm on the tap. Okay, so I got it. Hold on.
It's the Bonaire Swamp
Okay,
Air
so,
Conditioner.
okay, so he's got so if you're looking for a portable room one, okay,
Uh
they're
huh.
averaging about $170, which is cheaper than a window unit is going for. I know that. And
They
oh,
don't
it is at
have.
Amazon.
They don't
My
have the
it,
actual brand. They have different brands that are iffy on the builds. Yeah, they have evaporated coolers, just different brands. But yeah, here's like a.
yeah, they don't. Yeah, they're not showing Durango. They're just using. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Here's the
let's
portable
see.
swamp cooler for 187. There's a DeWalt one.
And then here's the. Okay, so I'm on their actual website. So window $800, window 439, window 800, window 919, rooftop 1028, and rooftop 1200. So
Not bad.
there's options. Yeah, there's options. I'm gonna, I'm gonna, he's not gonna be talking to me now about this shit, but I'll send this over to Eric and see what he has to say about it. Is a heating mechanic. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure. I guarantee you the answer is going to be no, but we'll see what he has to say.
One
He'll
thing at
say
a
if you're going to
time.
invest that kind of money, I think that he's going to say that money could go towards getting an actual whole house air conditioning system.
Well, I mean, if you think how
And
much
I'm
these
not
cool and square footage wise, it's almost worth it.
right.
It is still
So we'll
cheaper than
see
putting
what
in a whole central air unit.
right. We'll see how much he says central air units are going for.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can scream right now. Watch this. Hey, Eric! Eric! How much does it cost roughly to put in a air conditioning unit, condensing unit? Well, oh my God. How much if I ask you to put in whole house air? Okay, so how much? Holy fuck. Never mind. Right now he's saying because of the regulations that
Uh huh.
Biden put in, that you have to put the furnace in with the air conditioning unit. You're not getting away with just put.
The one or the other.
They got. they're getting rid of all of the, okay. So the new stuff isn't talking to the old stuff because of the uh capabilities now that they have. So
Mm-hmm.
it's becoming more and more difficult to find. You're looking at almost $9,000 to put a furnace and air conditioner in, minimum $9,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, when you go to the
Now the
website,
only,
um,
yeah,
and I don't know if this is like, again, my IP could be in the UK, it could be anywhere right now. Um,
right,
that you do not need to give me notifications. I am not coming here every single day. Why would I need notification? How many of these things do you think I need to buy in a lifetime? Jeez.
a lot,
Websites are predatory. God.
right,
But yeah, depending on where it assumes I live.
right.
Yeah,
So
I greater than 60%
yeah,
humidity.
yeah, one of these units may be beneficial to you. So look at what what costs that. I'll show this to him. I know he's going to say no, that you're better off uh, with probably a window unit, but I don't want to speak for him, so I'll see what he says. He's been in business for over 40 some years, so he does know what he's doing. He is licensed, certified, all that happy horse
Uh
shit.
huh.
So he's
Oh
good
yeah.
enough that we don't have to advertise. Everything's word of mouth. So I do trust what he does and what he says. And the industry has really taken a different turn as far as what's required for refrigerant. Um, I mean, refrigerant went from these, you could buy a bottle of it, and I forget what the sizes are, but like I don't know, say it's the size of a regular bottle that you get filled up for propane,
Uh
like
huh.
that size bottle. That used to cost $200. It's now over $1,500 to get a bottle.
Oh, ouch.
Hmm. And that's got to be passed on to the customer. And that has
Mm-mm.
to do with the regs that Biden put in.
And see, that's why I'm not hiring someone to redo the ventilation ducts underneath for the central
Yes,
air. I know how to do
right.
it. I can talk my son through how to do it.
Yep,
Uh, just no, I'm not paying someone to come in and do that. That is
right.
insane. Sorry,
Yep.
I know small business, but shit. With what
Yeah, it's a
Biden did,
lot
it
of
would
money.
probably cost. Well, you think it's going to be at least 300 for the parts, and I'm going on budget
Yes,
shop, so it's not the highest
right,
quality. Then you got to figure labor. It's going to be at least probably about an hour. They'll drag it out,
right, right.
and then yeah, per hour, it's not cheap for a trade like that. So
Yep,
I'm looking at like what 500 to do the whole thing,
yes, ma'am. Yep, if not more.
just to replace two, maybe 4 foot sections,
Three
6 foot
dot.
sections.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah, we can do that ourselves. I know how to do it.
yes, ma'am. Hmm.
So there's that.
Yeah, I would suggest on some of this stuff, don't be afraid. There are YouTube videos. Like, I wouldn't recommend putting your own furnace in or your own
No,
AC unit in, whole house air, but certainly you can replace some of your own
yes,
ductwork and,
that does not
you know,
require
into,
city
yeah,
inspections.
right. Well, here it does, but,
That's
sometimes
only
what
if
they
you
don't
tell
know
them what
don't
you're
hurt them.
doing. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah. Sorry. Did I say oops? Did I
Great
say that
minds
out
think
loud?
alike.
No. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean that to say that out loud.
I mean, I was wiring
Always
breaker
always
boxes when I
follow.
was like
Yeah,
13, 14.
here we go,
So
crazy bee. Always follow your local ordinance zones.
too much
Like
government.
fuck.
Fuck that shit. I'm
Like fuck.
sorry.
Yeah, like
I
fuck.
get it. I get why you have to say that, but I don't. I can say too much
Right.
government, too much bureaucracy. Here's two middle fingers. I got this.
There you go. Okay. That's funny. Please always follow your local zoning and ordinance zones.
Uh huh.
Like fuck said nobody, you know.
Yeah.
Oh
Nope.
Lord.
Nope. And nope. Some more. Sorry. I've like I've said, I've helped my dad build stuff from the frame. I mean, foundation up, leveling the
Hmm.
ground, putting everything in, pouring the cement if it needs a cement one, putting in the bricks. I've done bricklaying, I've done shingling, I've done siding, I've done windows, electrical, you name it. I've even helped run the ducts before.
Hmm.
Like when we were first installing central air at the one house when we were moving, my parents had a modular home built and brought in. So, I can help. So, yep, here's what you're going to do. You're going to stand there and hold this and watch what I do. And it's like,
Right.
yep.
Wait, wait. Wait a minute. That isn't that the epitome of all the helping? Here, stand there and hold this. Or here, stand there and hand me this. Or
But that's
here,
how I
just stand
learned.
there, right?
But that's
Yeah,
exactly how I learned. I
that's how
mean,
you learned, right?
my dad started me off that
That's
way,
funny.
handing him tools. And then by the time I was 13, we're tearing an engine down to the block, cleaning it and rebuilding it. And
Right?
we did that after work and school in the evenings. It took us a
Yep,
whole dang month to get it done because of everything else
right.
that was
But you got
going
it
on.
done,
But
right?
he and I were out there, and mind you, yeah, it was late fall, early winter, so it was cold as fuck up in Michigan. So yeah,
Right,
I've been the kid, and I know it drives guys nuts because they really are like women should be doing this, that, the other, the gender role shit. But I guess my dad knew I was not fit to be anyone's special wife or anything like that. So I learned how to do all this shit. He's like, at least now you don't
yeah,
have to depend on anyone. If someone
right.
wants to help you,
Yeah.
take it, but you don't have to depend on someone or wait for someone.
Wait, I can't see everything that Cannabis is
Oh,
saying in the comments. What
okay.
does he say?
The last one says, if you live near me, I have an excellent heating and AC guy that would help you ladies out. Well, you have an excellent one that
Okay.
lives with you.
Yeah,
I think that
Cannabis,
might have
I
been
sleep with
posted
one.
before you
I
said
sleep.
that.
Okay. I just want everybody to know I sleep with one. So,
Yeah.
there's that,
Yeah. And
so
I know how to do the
he could
work. I just
wait.
am. Go ahead.
And I'll just say he could make me hot or I could be cold. You never know. Just saying. Just saying. Just putting that out there. And by the
uh,
way, just so you know, Crazy Bee, I'm feeling a little bit of the pain right now. The burn is happening, so I'm
okay.
taking some
If at
pain
any
meds.
point, I was going to say, if
So
at any point you need to call it a day,
we're
yes.
calling a day. Or if I start acting goofy or I fall asleep, you need to wake me. So
Crown brought
you
up a
guys
great.
might
Go ahead.
yeah, you guys might hear Crazy B have to say, "Hey D, are you even awake there?" So,
Yeah.
yeah, there's that. So,
Uh, Crown
oh
Target is
Lord help
saying
us.
useless women are useless. So if a woman's not out there at least helping or trying or being of any benefit to the home, yeah, they definitely.
I know Cron
Yeah,
Target did not just say that.
he's not referring to us. He's referring to the women who just
Oh,
sit there and don't even want to cook, clean, help out with anything.
oh,
No, he
I
ain't talking
gotcha.
about us. I promise you, he ain't talking about
Okay.
us.
Okay, because
I know him way too well.
I actually volunteered to go help Eric after
Yeah.
surgery, after he picked me up from the hospital and he's all stressed out and shit. I told him I'd go on the job and help him.
Yeah, he's
Not
lecturing.
that I
Don't
would,
apologize for
yeah,
learning a useful skill. So yeah, it was not us.
Okay. Thank you. I apologize, Crown Target. I didn't mean to jump so quick.
Yeah.
I thought you
No.
were referring to that we were useless and didn't know what we were
No, no, no,
talking
no,
about.
no. No, no. I
Okay.
know Crown way too well to know that's not what he was intending. He's talking about the
Well, you know
women
what?
that are
Wait.
useless.
It would probably help if I would expand my screen. So wait,
Just
watch
possibly.
this. I'll bet you I'll bet you miraculously once I hit the expand button that I will be able to see the chat. Are you ready? One, two, three. And voila. Crown Target says, I'm single for a
Nope,
reason,
that's
lol.
cannabis,
Because now I
actually.
can oh,
That was
cannabis.
cannabis.
I'm sorry, cannabis. Sorry. See, and Crown okay, let me start again. I guess I'm more fucked up than I realize. Okay, Crown Target says sorry guys, but I am under the influence of anesthesia till tomorrow. Okay, so Crown Target says, don't apologize for learning useful skills. Cannabis says, I'm single for a reason, lol.
Same.
Okay.
But I still am
Ugh,
I'm teamed up with my ex-husband as roommates. It's a good deal. I have a place to stay. He helps with, things that I need until I either get disability or have to fight it. And he gets me to my
right,
appointments. I got to be honest, he's you know, as much as he's over there pretending to sleep right now or might be sleeping, one of the two. Instead of cutting the grass like I asked for yesterday before the rain started in the evening.
right,
All that aside, he works. He busts his ass. So I'm not too
right.
pushy. I'll push once or twice a week, and I won't be the nag. I will not be the nag my mother was. So
Yeah,
I gotta give credit where credit's due. We're better off as friends. I will give that. So it's
right.
good to have someone I can
Yeah,
at least have some conversation with.
I don't, I can't nag. He works too damn hard. He's worked hard all his life, and there's just, I just can't.
See
It
where
just isn't fair to him,
I
with the
struggle with
weather.
it because
Yeah,
my dad raised me that even though you got off of work, you still have shit you need to get done around the house. So get up and do it.
right,
And then you can
right.
relax after all of it's done. For
Well,
some reason,
he'll
my family's ass
typically, yeah.
backwards.
Well, see, I don't have to ask him to do those things. That's automatic. If
Oh,
the
shit. I
grass
got to delegate chores
needs
out
cut,
here to
he
adults.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't, that's, I should have prefaced it with that that's an automatic. It's a given.
Oh,
If I'm sick and I
not
don't feel
here.
good, he'll make dinner. And, I'm always eating. So
Well, I will
there's
see.
that.
Um, Danny is good about making dinners most of the time. But if he's not up for it or there's something like overly complicated and stuff, I'll have Jazz do it, my daughter. So,
Right.
again, I've got three adults in this house. There ain't no excuse for anything to not be done. I do what I can. I mean,
Exactly.
shit, I'll be sitting after I get done going to the bathroom or something, or I take a shower. I'll take a few minutes to clean the toilet. I'll take a few minutes to wipe down the
Right.
sink. I do what I
Right.
can do. It's unnoticeable if you really think about it, because nobody ever notices the small things. But I do what I can, and so
Right.
yeah. I mean, that's one thing. Even you do. You do what you can. I've heard you do dishes. I've heard you do things around the house,
Yeah.
cooking and stuff.
Oh,
So
I cook. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I'll make lasagna and it'll kill me, but I still do stuff. In
I've
fact,
gotten
that's
up
my
and
goal
helped
for
when I've
tomorrow
had
is
good
make
days.
lasagna. Yeah.
Yep. You've
Right.
seen the pictures actually on the Discord server. There are pictures in the Rex
Right.
Sisters chats where there's the results of my cooking, or at least talking somebody else through
Right.
how to do it, including that massive electric roaster full of chili that lasted like five,
Yeah.
5 days. And yes, it was that good. We could eat it for 5 days straight. Um, you know, so, yeah, I think, and I handle the finances. I make sure bills get paid, stuff like that. So I put in my fair share. I still feel like I'm not doing enough, but I think, when you really think about how I have to delegate a bunch of adults to do things and make sure the bills get paid on time, yeah, I think I do my fair share. Oh, and I've also
Yeah.
started setting everybody up for the future. Anyone working, I'm getting them set up with IRAs, 401s, hidden money, and items that are on harder to find for them, not me.
Right.
So, you know, stuff like that. I'm getting them ready for the future and teaching them how to
Right.
set these things up because that's an important thing. Like my ex-husband didn't start saving until I put up a 401k for him from his work. I set it up. He had
Mm-hmm.
in 53 years never set up anything for the future. We're scrambling. He's got like 10, 14, 15 years left if things don't change before then, one way or the other.
Right.
So, yeah,
Right.
I'm God, I should have just gone into finance.
Not, it's not, that's not too late.
Uh, can't sit through the classes, can't be on demand when people randomly call because you know me, there's days I can barely stay awake. And like, it's not always good. We've had to, how many days
Right.
have we had to call off for me? Quite a few.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I don't think I could ever hold it as a profession, but I can help family with it.
yeah. Well, we do the best we can, right?
Well, that's what wives were supposed to be doing. Men worked
Right.
insane hours in the coal mines. Women made sure everything else was
Right.
handled.
Right.
Farmers from dawn till dusk, they didn't barely came in the house. They'd take little
Right.
lunch boxes out in the tractors with them because they
Mm-hmm.
couldn't take more than a few minute break, and it takes too much to walk back to the house and then back to the field and start the tractor up again. So, yeah,
Right.
women really were designed to handle this kind of stuff while the men worked. But the men were also working literally more hours than 40 hours a week when women had to handle it.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and I know your husband works some wild hours
Big time.
because you're paid by the job, not by the hour. So,
Right.
yeah, it makes a difference.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do to make the money.
Mm-hmm. God, I think about all the stuff over the years. Women are kind of vital if they knew their place and quit acting like these idiot liberals that are out there. They'd be a little bit
Right.
happier. They want to have all this control. Well, control your house. There you go.
Right. Well, I wouldn't mind controlling the house. The issue is controlling the children. So there's that.
That's when you put them to work
Uh,
out in the fields. I, you
uh,
know, I was in that generation that grew up picking rocks. I picking
there you
rocks from
go.
the field. I was helping pick crops. I was helping do all kinds of stuff. I have
Right.
helped toss hay bales and stack them up. Well, I didn't toss them. They were tossed to me. And those fuckers ain't light, by the way. You think hay is light until you get a full bale thrown at you. And you got to catch
Right.
it one story up and then go stack it before the next one comes flying at you. So,
Right.
yeah. No wonder my back is fucked up.
Yeah.
Help milk cows, help do this, help do that. Women, my aunt, even though, her daughter is grown, she was out there throwing full hay bales up to the loft for me to stack. Like, and she don't look tough. She don't look that strong. But you're talking, what, 30 pounds hay bale up into the air
Yeah.
repeatedly,
Right.
repeatedly,
Right.
again and again and again. And then and that's you're assuming those people have a field. Get a field. Send them to the neighbor who has a field. Find a field. My parents
Right.
weren't farmers, but I helped people they knew who were farmers. I worked at different
Right.
farmers in the community because I lived in a farming area. Oh, you don't live in a farming area? Send them to someone you know who is in a farming area. Get those kids doing something. Start a garden in the
Yes.
backyard. That's a small field. There you go. Also, they like telling
Or
other people what to do, not so much doing things themselves. Yes, that was my
or
mother.
oh, yeah. Or lock them in the room and don't let them out. There you go.
Oh God, I can't
No.
tell you how many
I
times
was
I've been in barns
I
and
just
stuff, just loving it.
yeah. That's if you have that in your area, right? But if
That's
you're
why I
a
said
city
ship them
dweller, it's
out.
a
Ship them
yeah,
out.
ship them
Get
out.
to know
Yeah.
some
Put
people
them
up
on a
there. Find
bus
some
and
Amish.
yeah.
Have them live with the Amish for the summer. Teach them to do a barn raising.
I'll see.
I mean,
Wait,
what's wrong with that?
we'll see, we'll see on the weekend, right?
Yeah. What's wrong with that? People
Yeah.
send their kids to
See,
summer
that's
camp.
yeah.
Why not send them to a
This
farm?
is true. There you go.
I
That's true.
absolutely detest that they said children under 14 can't work like this, that, the other. Children under 14 are the best ones to help dig out rocks. I'm going to tell
Right.
you straight up because they enjoy digging in the soil to begin with. You give a kid a sand
Right.
bucket, or you give them even a 5 gallon bucket, and then an older kid goes and grabs the
They're
buckets and dumps them in the pile. I mean, like,
right.
seriously. I detest the
Yep.
fact our government said, nope, no
But
more working the young
I do
ones.
want to put this out there. Yeah, I do want to put this out there though, as a city dweller that, raised two boys. I was a better mother working than I would have been a stay-at-home mom with the two of them. Because
See, I would have done better
I'd be
at
in
stay
jail
at
right
home.
now. I'd, I'd be in jail.
See, I would have
I'd be
done
in
better
jail.
as a
There's
stay at
just
home if I had the opportunity. But the fact that I was able to handle college, dealing with my mother and her behaviors, dealing with two autistic
hmm
kids, and not having a car for most of it. Oh, and I worked part time until I started the actual MA class. So for part of the time I was in college, I did work on top of it. Then I had the externships and internship stuff on top of going to the classes, keeping up with all of it. Still managed a 3.75 GPA and never missed a PTA meeting, never missed an appointment. I was on top of that shit. Back then, I was struggling. I was like, what the fuck? I can't do this. But I got through it just to end up in a car accident some
hmm
years later. It was like, really? All that hard work and then a car accident. Like, great. But
yeah.
no,
So yes.
honestly, I would have been
So
better as a
Crown
stay at
Target.
home.
Yeah. And I wasn't, and I worked
Mm-hmm.
upwards of 60 hours a week in a very
So did I.
demanding job. I didn't get to go to
Mm-hmm.
college till I was older, so I worked my
Yep.
way from uh, up through, and I needed a master's degree if I was going to succeed. So I went all the way through a master's with a 3.97 average. If it wouldn't have been for that fucking math class that wasn't a math class, it
Mm-hmm.
would have been a 4.0.
Yep.
Uh, and still, I didn't have autistic children, and I did have the capability of having a car, but they were
It
trying in
still
their
is
own
tough.
ways. Uh-huh.
And I'm going to even say,
And
as a
then
stay at
starting up
home
a
mom, it's
business.
tough too.
Yeah. Yeah. And starting up a business, that was extremely difficult. But I was
Mm-hmm.
extremely fortunate in that, my mother-in-law helped take care of the boys until they were ready for preschool. And on the weekends, my mom took the boys because I was working on the weekend.
Yep.
Uh, she took them Friday night through Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And well, one, she wanted them. She was like, your mother-in-law has them 5 days a week. Oh, no, no, no. We need to put our influence onto them. So that's where, I have pictures of EJ at 3 years old wearing,
Mm-hmm.
ear protective gear, and he's carrying, two shotgun cases in his arms,
Yep.
where my dad taught him, to skeet shoot and stuff. And target practice and all of that. So he developed that love of guns, 3 years
Mm-hmm.
old with him.
Mine was
So,
archery. My dad
they,
taught me archery young,
yeah,
but I still have a love of guns and archery, except my shoulders are fucked, so can't do archery anymore.
hmm right. So,
Yep. And start kids
my,
young in
you know, my dad,
hobbies.
my dad, my dad went to a pool room where, I mean, this was a legit, well, it was
Pool
also
hall.
a legit, yeah, what do I want to say? Let's use your words so that you don't get anybody into trouble. Gang related, we'll
Not
say,
so, yeah,
area.
yeah,
Yeah,
not so great
yeah.
neighborhood.
We'll leave it at that, and just say that there were a group of guys that you just didn't mess with. And
Yep.
here, EJ's 3 years old. You're not allowed to be on the billiard tables whatsoever. And there he was up there with the pool sticks and fucking up
Learning
the
how.
billiard tables, and nothing was said.
And I want to
Hold
address
on one
Crown Target's
second. Hold on
comment.
1 second. Hold on.
Yep.
You need evening ones. Okay. I need the container.
See, life does not end.
Hold on yeah.
No,
Right.
it's a good example that
Yeah.
we our lives are busy like everybody else's. We don't get
Eating the
to
scripts.
just stop family
Use the old
from
needles.
being family.
Right.
They need us. They need us. They always come first.
Yeah. Right. Well, wait till you hear why. I can't say right now, but you're gonna laugh your ass off.
Oh, I can believe it.
Oh, it's funny as shit.
But I do want to address this last comment from Crown because he's got a good point, and I've got a good counterpoint. But it's going to require a lot of work.
Okay, well, before you say that, okay, so he needs his to take his nighttime meds, and there are none in his prescription. I put them out for the week. Okay, so we were at the doctor's last night at the
Mm-hmm.
PCP's, and he's telling the doctor how bad he feels. He's dizzy, he's tired, blah blah blah. Right.
Uh huh.
So the doctor tells him, well, if you're still he thinks it's due to the weather. He's not drinking enough. He
Yeah.
told him he wanted him to get electrolytes. He also wants him to get salt tablets because he was putting on a roof this last couple days. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That
So,
you got to have
all right.
gallons of water or Gatorade prepared.
Okay. Right. So he says to me last night when he goes to take his nighttime meds that he doesn't have any.
Uh huh.
And I said, what? What do you mean you don't have any nighttime meds? They're out for the week. You shouldn't be out of them. I said, give me the container. Crazy B. He's been taking his nighttime meds for the day.
No wonder he's so exhausted and
Yeah,
dizzy.
I'm
Oh, you
dead. I'm dead.
goofball. Oh, you goofball. But you know what? I've
I
done that
I
before.
used I used other language than goofball, but
Hmm.
that didn't go over too well. But
Yeah,
I'm dead.
it's
I'm
not
like,
my place to
wait.
to say something like that because it would be disrespectful coming from me. His wife, that's a whole different ballgame.
I'm like, what the fuck are you out of your fucking mind? You not well. I did call him an asshole. I was so mad.
Uh
You know what
huh.
I mean? I'm like, I'm at the doctor's, and I'm like, you didn't say a word to me about how bad you felt. You know what I mean? And we're sitting there because we go in the room together. Those days of being
Mm-hmm.
separate are over. So we're in
Yeah.
the room together, and I'm hearing all this shit for the first time, and I'm like, what the fuck? And so we
Yep.
leave, and I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, I think it's that you guys are just not drinking enough, is what I believe it is.
Yeah.
And so then when we get home, and I'm like, you fucking asshole, like, what the hell? You're taking your nighttime meds during the daytime? No wonder why you fucking don't feel good, you idiot. Oh my God, I was
Uh,
dead. I
I can
mean, you
believe
got
it.
the. I'm telling you, this is why Crown Target. if you take, you need a woman in your life to keep track of you.
Well, there are men
Uh,
who can do pretty good about it. I've known quite a
yes,
few.
there are. Yes, yes, there
There,
are.
I do know
And
some, but
hopefully, and hopefully Crown Target is one of them. But
from
if
what I
not,
know
you
of
need
them,
to get a good,
yes.
yes, if not Crown Target, you need to get a good woman in your life.
But
It is
do it.
funny.
Oh God, and it's one of those things again that just some people like. We hear that guys who pass away shortly after their wives.
Yes,
I think it's well partially broken heart and partially no one set out their meds or fed them.
yes. Well, there's legit statistics
Mm-hmm.
that say that typically men that have been married for a long time
The
will
longer
die
they're
within
married, yep.
12 months. Yes, will die within 12 months of their wife passing.
I've only
My
known a
dad was
handful of
yeah,
exceptions.
yes, my dad was testament to that.
Mm-hmm.
They lived on our property. I think that's the only reason he lasted as long as he did was because I was there twice a day, checking on
Yep.
him. He was dead within 13 months. And
And
they had been together since they were 12 years old. Now
yes,
if Eric passes away, well, I don't know. I would probably uh, stay single, but mess around.
that's understandable.
There's that. Yeah, there's
But
that. I wouldn't. I don't think I'd want to be met. I don't know though. Perhaps I had a girlfriend that her husband was. She would tell you was the love of her life. He passed away from asbestos, and
mhm.
she ended up knowing this older man from. She walked in the mall every day, and they would sit and have coffee and just chit chat. And one thing led to another, and they fell in love. And she told me that she never experienced love the way that she did when she met him. And I
And
was like, damn,
well, here's one thing about
that
love
was
that a lot of people misconstrue. There are different types of love. Now, again, like I'm not talking just love for family, love for friends. You may find love with one person and it
yes,
ends, it breaks up, but then you find a different level of love with another. This is why some people end up cheating, is because the love that they have for the
find
one
it.
person
Yes,
isn't necessarily enough, or they're just idiots. That's an option too. But some people in that
right,
case, they're looking for something that their spouse or their significant other is lacking, and it's evidently something serious enough to cause them to look elsewhere. And
right,
it's one of those things that is tough, because like you think you found the perfect person, but as you go to work, go to school, you start meeting other people and you realize, oh wait, maybe
right.
that wasn't the perfect person. So
Yes,
this, I'm not condoning cheating in any way, fashion, or form, and I'm not condoning divorce for stupid reasons. Okay, like I'm one of those people that, hey, you made that commitment, you better stay. Unless there's only two reasons I tolerate for divorce, that's cheating and abuse. So
right,
that says a lot. I don't tolerate he left the toilet seat up or he won't go get a job. Well, if he ain't gonna go get a job, bitch, go get a job. Man up. You take over.
mm-hmm.
Some guys are better as housekeepers and taking care of the kids. I've seen
Husbands, yep,
cases like that.
yep,
They're better as the stay at
yep,
home parent, but not all the time. It's again very rare occasions. So I just, again, I've known people who were married 50, 60 years and they still fought like cats and dogs. Lady threatened to hit him over the head with a pot if he didn't cooperate. I mean, I've
oh,
seen
you
some
hear me every
funny
day.
shit.
You hear me every day.
Yes.
That's our love language. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? If
but
we're
and
not
some people won't understand
yeah,
that. Some people do
right,
not understand that. They're like, how can they tolerate being like that? How can you, how is that love? It is. You
right,
are tolerating
yes,
someone's shortcomings because you love them
yes,
and you love them enough to tolerate their shortcomings.
Their shortcomings. Yep.
So it's a, you know, it's a
You know, and we've been
cyclical
together
thing.
since we were, yeah, we've been together since we were 15 years old.
Hmm.
We've grown up together. We know each other's ins and outs and
You
everything
matured
about what,
together
well, you,
and you
yeah,
experienced life
yeah,
together.
and
You
you,
can't change
and you,
that.
and you truly, and I will say this because I know this to be factual, you can never say that you know everything about somebody, how they
Uh-huh.
feel or what they'll do, because there are things that Eric does not know about me, about my childhood, that I will never, nobody knows. I will keep it till my grave, till we go to the
Yep.
grave. Um, and I just won't. And people will be like, well, you know, if you love him, you're supposed to share, blah, blah, blah. No, I
No.
won't. I won't let him
That's
have
not what love
those
is based
certain
on.
perceptions. Right. So that kind of stuff, uh, you know, people will only tell you what they want you to know, what they think they might want you to know. They'll try to spare your feelings. So there's a lot to be said for uh, you don't always think that you don't always think that because somebody says, you know, they love me so much, I know everything about them. No, you don't.
No,
I
no,
I don't believe that you truly know everything about everybody.
no.
I
And I
mean,
agree with
shit,
you on that.
crazy B. We talk, even me and you talk about how good friends we are. We know a lot about one another. We
But
know
there's
a
still
lot
stuff we
about
don't know.
shit. Exactly. Yeah.
There's
So,
stuff
I
that
mean,
I'm taking
we
to the
know,
grave.
yeah, yeah, we know so much about one another that people would be probably shocked that we know how much we know about one another, but yet we
Hmm.
still don't know everything.
What drives me
And that's
nuts,
just the way it is.
my mom and
Go
sister used
ahead.
to be like, I know everything about you. No, it's you're projecting your own behaviors and what you would do in a circumstance
Yes.
on me. That does not mean you know me.
Right.
You are assuming what I would say or do. You don't
Right.
know jack fucking shit about me, obviously, if you're making that kind of
Hmm.
assumption. And that's why I
Right.
won't assume anything. I mean, unless it's a repetitive behavior that leads to a pattern, like what I see with my ex brother in law and my ex husband. I can tell you their patterns,
Hmm.
but that doesn't mean I know what's causing those patterns. Doesn't mean I know
Right.
why. And I love the psychology of things. I will pick people for why. Why do you do this? Why do you see it that way? Why do you do it that way? I will pick brains till I pass out. Um, but there, like, you can't truly understand. Some people will never understand why I cut 90% of my family out of my life. Actually, 99%. Only person left is my dad that I talk to. Some people will never understand. They're like, everything is forgivable. Like, you can forgive, but you don't have to see that person again. There's a difference. And some
Yes.
people will say that,
Right.
well, that means that you haven't truly forgiven them. And that's an opinion, not a fact. So, but then again, mine is my opinion. So that as
Right.
well. But yeah, I would never assume to know everything about someone. Like I can't even say I know my kids that well. I would never. I can predict some things about them, but I would never ever claim to know them so well, that well. Like the way my mom and
Right.
my sister, their arrogance about it. And then it turns out they were
Right.
completely wrong. They don't know jack shit about me. I mean, I look back at it, the
Right.
birthday gifts and the Christmas gifts and the stuff over the years, conversations, they never actually knew me. If they assumed
Hmm.
anything about like what I liked, I mean, the stuff they would get for Christmas, I'm putting on a smile, but it's not my personality. It wasn't me. And
It
they weren't
wasn't who
even on
you
the
were.
mark.
Right.
Yeah, they weren't even on the mark. So, it's like, yeah, I can predict my kids. I know my kids well enough to predict a gift they will actually appreciate and use. But, like,
Right.
yeah, my family, my dad knows me better than my mom and my sister ever would. How my brother does.
Right.
But, that's again where it's arrogance to think you know that about someone. And well, they're both narcissists, so there's that.
right?
But yeah, it's it's fun to know people and slowly get to know them over the years. I mean, I've known my ex-husband since I was like
Well,
15, 16. I've known
right.
his brother, who was my sister's ex-husband as well, his stepbrother, I should say. I've known him since I was like 14. I mean, we're talking
Mm-hmm.
more than half my life I've known these guys, and I still wouldn't
Right.
dare claim to know I know them 100%.
Yeah, you don't exactly. Exactly. And the other thing that you have to take into consideration is maturity and growth
Yes.
and their new experience, right?
And
So
your partner's
the
ability to
man
grow.
correct. So the person that you met at 23 is not the same person at 43. They're just
Exactly.
not.
With the exception of a
And
handful of people who just cannot mature past that certain point.
right, this is true. That's true.
My uncle.
So the other thing that you have to take into consideration then too is your faith and what you believe. And if you believe that marriage is a commitment and it is for better or worse in sickness and
Amen.
health and richer or poorer, then you will stick by that person through thick and thin. And I'm here to tell you that the things, as you know, that Eric has done for me, I don't know
Yeah.
any man out of all of our friends that would do what he has done for me.
And
Literally,
see, it's going to be impossible
ugh,
for me to
I
ever find
just,
not a new relationship of any kind, because most people can't understand why I'm still hanging around and helping out my ex-husband. They're like,
right,
they don't even want to think about anything on those lines. And it's like they don't understand that one, I knew the guy long before we got married. Then
right,
even after the divorce, I'm still here helping him. Helping him, he's helping me.
mm-hmm,
We have that friendship, and a lot of people will not understand that. So I just assume that, no matter what, even if I were to move out, Danny says I'm done, go live somewhere else. I'd still help him with his finances. I'd still help him with planning his future. I would still do that stuff. If he
right,
wants to help, I would help with it because one, he's the father of my children, and two, how do you just cut off that many years of your life and not have an emotional attachment of some sort? There's a degree of
right,
love for my ex-husband, absolutely, but it's not the in love, let's get married again stuff. And I don't think it would work if we
yes,
even got married again. We would end up back at divorce. So,
yes.
I
So
mean, yeah,
it's basically it's a different type of love.
yes. There's and a lot of people don't get that. They're like, well, he's the ex, get the kids on the weekend and nothing else to do with him.
Right,
Don't talk to him any other time
right,
except
yeah,
swapping the kids. And that's not okay. That's not
yeah,
right. There's still that partnership.
right,
And Crown Target brought up a good
right,
point. Having a goal can be that can be attained through cooperation over time together increases the chances that you may stay together. Two completely individuals, meaning two different goals, the two complete individual people will not weather the average storms of a relationship. Exactly. And that's unfortunately what we see. I mean, my nephew was married for all of like a year and just got a divorce because it turns out they were too young, they weren't ready for it, and it wasn't going to work. So they ended up
mm-hmm,
divorcing. And it's like, well, they tried a relationship, but they moved too quickly. They didn't get to really
yes,
know each other. They didn't have that. We have this in common, and we can. And I always see relationships as you should look for someone who can support your weaknesses and you can pick up theirs. So Danny may not be good at
mm-hmm,
remembering when the bills are due and how much goes to each one. But listen, that's where I step in. But he helps with where I can't. And so, that's the balance that people need to look for in relationships, but they don't. And they're not
yes.
looking, what can I do for this person? Instead, they're like, what can they do
Oh,
for me?
right,
Why are
exactly,
you looking for what they
exactly.
can do for you? Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Go
And
ahead. Sorry.
that's where the different yeah, that's where the differences come in for in sickness and in health. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so as you know, I got diagnosed severely with a life altering disease that is only going to get progressively worse to where I become wheelchair bound, and you know I'm
Yeah.
fighting that tooth and nail.
Yes.
So
Even though
it'd probably be
I think
easier
you
if I
are
was,
already
yeah,
there, but
yeah,
you are stubborn, and we
there,
will
but
agree.
exactly. Right. And so I refuse to get in the motherfucking thing, even though it's sitting on the front porch.
Mm-hmm.
So he has picked up where in things that I just can't do anymore. You know, he's doing the
Mm-hmm.
bulk of the laundry, he's doing the majority of the cooking, he's doing the majority of the cleaning, albeit half-ass, but he's doing it.
Yeah.
You know, he he didn't sign up for that. He didn't sign up to bust his balls all day,
Actually,
you
yes,
know,
he did.
10-hour days right now. Yeah,
Yes,
I
he did.
guess
When he
so.
agreed to marry you, he accepted in sickness
Hmm.
and in health and knew that there was a possibility one day this could happen, and he loves you
That's
enough to
right.
stay.
Yeah. Well, I think as we talked about, though, there are different kinds of love when you get married. You know what
And
I
it
mean? There
changes over
is,
time too.
right, it does change. So there is that uh, friendship type of love. There is romantic or sexual type love that you marry somebody. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, you have a combination of all of them that
Exactly.
but they wax and wane through time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? As you have children, you know, you might not get to be as romantic and you're not as carefree and able to, say, travel the way you used to when you did without kids. You know what I mean? Like we were able to come and go as we pleased before we had children. And then they come
Mm-hmm.
along and, you know, now you're home on the weekend and you're camping instead of flying. You know what I mean?
But
So,
then they also still, what still always amazes me are the guys who do stick around with the physical changes that women can go through, where we're
yes,
no longer the
yes,
cute 20-year-old they originally married. We are now
yes,
the
yep,
sagging, wrinkled, gray haired, flabby stomach
yes.
kind of person
Well, hey,
that they stick around.
that works, that does work the other way, you know.
Well, and
There's shit's
exactly. But
there's
how many
shit
guys over
sagging
the
and
years
hanging and yeah,
But how many guys over the
yeah,
years ditched their wives because they were no
to
longer
go
like that,
to
or they started seeing
the
people on the
attractive
side who were
20-year-old.
younger
Yes,
because they wanted that
yes,
thrill of youngness again? And women
yes.
tolerated it because, one, divorcing at that point was not going to happen
Not
because
viable, right?
society would not allow it. And then
Right,
you also, if you do, you're limited at what kind of work you can do because most people aren't going to let you work around your kid's schedule and just randomly fly off because to the school
right.
because your kid got hurt or something, you know?
Yes,
So, and I've heard the horror stories from my mom and, well, not my mom, but my grandparents and stuff, you know, what their fathers or grandfathers did to their wives as they got older. And it's like, it sucks when they were trapped like that because the man didn't
yes,
appreciate and respect what she was putting up with while he was out looking for something thrillable again. And that's one of the
yes,
things I think that led to some of the feminism that we see today is the stories that were told. Instead of, women saying, I will not tolerate this behavior, they took it because they were afraid of the outcome of standing up. Because I'll admit, my my grandfathers did not hesitate to put their hands on my grandmothers
oh yeah, right.
in
Yep,
brutal ways. And
yes,
that bothers me. And that's why, you know, my absolute standard for finding a husband when I was in my 20s was someone who could hold a job, be a good provider basically, wasn't into drugs and alcohol on a partying level, and wasn't an abusive
right,
asshole. Well, I
right.
succeeded in some of that, but still didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right,
again, it's really hard to find people who can meet such a simple standard these days.
right.
and I'm talking my generation, so the guys from the 90s, the 80s through the 90s and stuff. And that's why I went with someone who was even older. Went with 10 years
Right.
older. Figured, partying was out of the way, ready to settle down. Yeah, Danny's not a partier, but there were other faults. And I'm not perfect, I'll be the first to admit it, but I can understand why feminism came to be, because the men who did not appreciate their wives made it an easy escape route. If the men
Yes.
had appreciated their wives more, and I'm talking the older generation, not the guys right now, but I'm talking our grandfathers and great grandfathers, if they had appreciated their wives more, there might have been a less chance of the women just saying, screw this, I'm out. And also then passed on
Yeah.
horror stories to their daughters and granddaughters of what to be aware of, and that you're probably going to have to suck it up and deal with this kind of shit.
Yes.
So,
Abuse was abuse of women was pretty dominant in a lot of industries, especially in blue collar jobs, I'd say. At least here in the greater Pittsburgh area with the steel mills and a lot of manufacturing jobs that they had,
mm-hmm.
they were typically lower educated positions, if they had up to a sixth grade,
At most,
education
I've heard of them
at
taking
yep,
completely
yes,
illiterate people as long as they were capable
yes,
of learning.
yep, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it is definitely wild. What history has taught us. And unfortunately,
Hmm.
the pendulum is swinging in a direction that is unviable. Women have gone way over the top with their feminism.
Yes, they
And
have.
that, like I said it the other day, I'll give up my right to vote to get these bitches in control. Sorry for wording it that way,
Hmm.
but it's a fact.
But that's what they are. That's what they are. I
Well,
mean, when you look
they're
at
the
what we
different
have
type.
right
Well,
now,
yeah.
well, yeah, there's bitches and then there's fucking bitches. How about
Well,
that?
hold
We'll,
on.
we'll preface it by that.
Crown brought up a good point. Women should not be reduce themselves to objects. I can tell you, I didn't reduce myself to an object, but I was treated like one throughout high school and stuff. I will be honest. I was treated like
No,
that. That's all you were good for.
Crazy B, yeah, but Crazy B, I would say, knowing you, you were more of an exception than the rule to the majority of women
Mm,
that I know, both either in manufacturing
no,
or
no, no. I'm
office.
talking like even in a
Let
relationship.
me finish. Let me finish. Most women want to be treated like an object, meaning they want to be placed on a pedestal, to be admired, to be taken care of, do not put forth a lot of effort. Most women do.
Uh, I'm good enough with just being respected. That's my
Yes.
go-to.
And
And
like I
see,
said, you're
yeah,
the exception. I
I
think
well, I
there are
would
women
I
that are
know the
exception
reason
to that.
why, but I also know the reason why. I was raised by my dad, and that lowered my
Yes.
standards because I was
Yeah.
being taught what a man wants of a woman, which means you are basically a
Right.
baby factory and a cook and a house cleaner and everything else that was from
And a sex
the
object.
60s and 70s
And a
that their
sex
mother did.
object.
Yes, and
Yes. And a
that's
sex
what I
object.
was raised as. And and again, I'm not saying my dad is a bad person for this, but basically it lowered my self-worth, and it made it harder for me to find a any relationship really and make one work, because again, women, and I'm not the only one who's gone through this. I've talked to other women who have been through this and felt this way, that that's all we're worth. We're not worth anything more
Yes.
than that. And that's the best we're going to get. That's the best we deserve. Why bother? No man is going to treat us right. And so that
Uh-huh.
is why the women, the feminists that we see today out there, I want him 6 foot tall, six figures, this, that, the other. They're,
Yes.
because
And you
again,
know
I
what?
grew up, Oh,
And there's proof to what you're just saying about what they want. 6'1", blue eyes,
and I'll tell you
six
why.
figures.
I can tell you why.
There's actual there. Hold on, but there's actual TV programs where women go on and make these statements.
Yes.
Young girls today
Mm-hmm.
that are in their 20s, that are in their late teens, up through their late 30s, making these following statements. Six
Mm-hmm.
foot one, blue eyes or green eyes, holding six figures, working in finance, having a house, having a car. Exactly
Mm-hmm.
what you're saying. It's true.
But
They're
here's the
out there.
reason why. Up until the 90s, what were women expected to be? Size zero, so tall,
Yes,
this skinny, that color hair, this color eye.
yes,
Guys did kind of set the standard, unfortunately. And the women decided
true.
instead of balancing it, they went to the off the edge. And now we're stuck.
And
And
I
again,
lost you. I didn't
oh,
hear a word you said.
Oh, I was saying that because of that standard that was set by the older generation and women were
Crazy
compared.
bee, crazy bee.
I'm right here.
Hold on. I lost. Yeah, I lost you and did not hear a word you
Oh,
said.
I was repeating it. That's what
Okay,
I
go
was
ahead.
just about to repeat it. So,
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
because of the standard the guy set of, oh, you need to be a size zero, you need to be a size this, you need to be that, you need to wear this, you need to do your hair that way. They basically set the standard that women passed on to their daughters because if you prepare your daughters for what a man is going to want, then hopefully she'll get a guy. But about the time she does that, society has changed. And now guys have decided they don't want women who look like that. And then, you know, then you get the middle level women, the ones who are not pretty, but still not dead ugly, that get used as practice until the guy can find a perfect wife. And then you get those women who are all jacked up and hating men. I'm not blaming all men. I am still putting blame firmly on women for taking it too far by getting revenge for what has been done in the past
Yes.
by bad men
Yeah.
who their mothers had to settle for because, well, either it was prearranged or they got knocked up at teenage years and they were forced into marriage. There's a lot of reasons shit went wrong and it got passed down.
Mm-hmm.
And guys pass down their trauma from women, women pass down their trauma from the men, and nobody has been talking to each other about this. That's what my biggest problem is. You got women out there making demands like the men used to make demands back in the day, and now nobody that the guys are past that. The women are in that stage. They're a couple generations behind, doing exactly what was
Right.
done to their grandmothers and their mothers, and hell, it even happened to me. You would not
Mm-hmm.
believe the shit I heard from guys that I hung out with and what their expectations were.
Right.
It is unmeetable. And then now you got women doing the unmeetable expectations of men, and men are upset about it, but they're not looking at what the previous generations did to lead to this.
Did
And yes,
before.
you hear me say it all the time. History has defined what we're going through right now. Nobody has stopped to
Right.
look at it and say, wait, this shit didn't work. We didn't like it when it was done to us. So why the fuck are we going to do it to them? And
Right.
women have not
That never,
dialed
and
it
that,
back.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And that behavior doesn't stop, unfortunately.
It just leads to men going back to the revenge behaviors down the road. And
Right.
I hate
Right.
to say it, and I'm not blaming every guy, but honestly, I don't know a single guy whose family member doesn't have an abusive husband or boyfriend or uncle or whatever in it.
Right.
And honestly, it's scary that that's still happening. And I will tell you, my mother was abusive to my father. I watched women become the abusers because they were afraid of
Mm-hmm.
getting abused. So they became the
Mm-hmm.
abusers. And seeing both sides of it really woke me up at a young age to what I was never going to do in a relationship and what I was not going to tolerate in a relationship and what I would make exceptions for. You know, it defined me young when I heard my
Well,
dad and all his friends absolutely bashing their wives behind their backs and not
Mhm.
appreciating a single fucking thing those women did for them.
Right. one thing I will say, and I usually say it to women, the following statement, but in thinking about it, I mean, and I've known this, but most men are in a better position. But the statement goes for men as well, because as you know, you and I both know several men that are in the following position.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I I know that I could walk away today and be okay financially. And that's a big thing, is to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you can take care of yourself, that you're not reliable on one person for your daily necessities. And I stay in my relationship because I want to, not because I have to. And there are many women and some men that stay in a relationship because they have to.
Yes.
And I think that you need to do whatever you possibly can, whether that's, you sneak $5 out of the grocery budget every week and tuck it away under your mattress or something till,
Yep,
you build up a
emergency.
little, yeah, you build up a little nest egg,
And see,
or
but
you
we
try
shouldn't.
to
Here's
reach,
the thing: is what bothers me
you
about even
shouldn't have
having to
to.
do this. Exactly.
Yes, you shouldn't
Why are
have
we
to.
that
Yes,
afraid of relationship problems that we fear that we
because you
now?
have nowhere to go.
Yeah,
Because you have nowhere to go.
but you
You
should.
have
And
no
if a
family, no
relationship
friends.
was going to work, you
Right.
shouldn't have to be. And there was a time when you didn't. I'm sure somewhere in biblical era, you didn't have to worry about something like this. There are relationships that do work, and the women have never had to fear having to flee their husband, or men have never had to fear fleeing their women. But I was taught this
Hmm.
too from a young age. My mom smuggled money from the bills and stuff, and she also tried
Hmm.
emptying the entire accounts. My dad had to empty the accounts before she did because my mom had already put him in the hole a couple $1,000s
Right.
by mishandling
Right.
funds. She took it too
Right.
far. But I don't, I hate the idea that anyone, male or female, could possibly have to think that way.
Right.
It's
Well,
sad.
and the other thing that I talked to somebody that I know that is in a pretty bad predicament,
Uh huh.
and they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's various uh, things that you could do to try to get out of it. But they made a statement to me, and they said, Dee, a child shouldn't have to grow up in an abusive relationship, in this type of relationship. A child
Yep.
should be brought up to only have love, no love in their life. And they went on they basically had a rant prepared about this. And when they got done with their rant, it's a pre recorded rant. And after I listened to it, there's only one thing that I could say to them. And that is, yes, that's all well and good. What you have to say, yes, that could be true, that a child should only be brought up in this manner, which would only lead to these better relationships that we're talking about. But you
Mm,
know what?
I don't think so.
Mankind is flawed. We are flawed. And there are evil people in this world. And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, children will not be brought up in loving homes. They will be brought up in abuse. They will be brought up to be, turn in to be the motherfuckers that beat their wives or beat their kids or whatever.
You
There's
can
no
choose to
changing
break
that.
the
It's
cycle,
fact.
but I'm
You
choosing to
can, but
break
a
the
lot of people
cycle.
don't.
It's hard. I'm going to tell you right now, it's hard to
Yes, it
break the
is hard.
cycle.
Yeah, I know it is.
I know you
Yeah,
do.
you
I'm
know my
talking for
life.
the audience too. I will be
Yeah,
the first to
right,
say
right,
I cut off everyone from my family, my brother, my sister, my mother, aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone except my dad, because I got sick of the
right.
cycle of abuse. Oh no, you should just tolerate it because it's this person related to you this way. The fuck do I got to tolerate it for? I can draw a line and say no. But the thing is, and
Right.
it would be great if kids could be brought up in love only, but how are they going to learn conflict resolution?
True.
If you don't, I heard someone tell me once she was becoming a social worker because kids shouldn't hear their parents argue. How are they going to learn conflict resolution?
I
Well, you teach
disagree.
them some
Yeah, I
other way.
disagree.
And so I'm like, no,
Right.
they learn from how their parents handle conflict. You
Right.
let your kids see you argue, but then let them see you make up for it in an appropriate fashion.
Correct. And
Not
let
that
them
far.
see the apologies.
And the
Yes. Let
hugs
them see the
afterwards
apologies.
and the
Yes.
empathy. And here's the thing I've always
Yes.
told my kids, I don't want to hear the words I'm sorry. I want to see a change in the behavior. When
Yes.
I apologized to my daughter once. And again, I apologize for other things too, but like this one really struck me. My daughter said, she kind of threw my words back at me. She's like, there's a way
Mm-hmm.
to properly apologize. And I realized when she explained to me what it was that I'd been mistaught my entire life. But I was
Right.
raised that an apology came with but and then some reason for that misbehavior, with a but and a
Mm-hmm.
reason for it. That's not an apology. That's an
Right.
excuse. An apology
Yes.
is I am sorry did this behavior. I will do my best not to do it again, and then make the effort to
Mm-hmm.
change. And it
Right.
really was eye opening to hear this from, I think she was like 13 or 14 at the time, that my entire life, apologies that were given were actually excuses from a narcissist. My
Mm-hmm.
dad showed his apology because my dad never spoke the words I love you to me until I was 17 and there was a massive fight about it.
Right.
We were fighting, and that was the root of the fight. And I didn't realize it because I was a teenager and didn't know how to control my emotions or properly convey them. And mind you, I'm on the autism spectrum and didn't know it at the time. So that made it worse. And then it boiled
Mm-hmm.
down to, you don't tell me you love me. And since that day, he is one, he did not say, I'm sorry. But since that day, he told me I love you on a regular basis. And now, before we hang up after a phone call, he says, I love you.
Right.
Since I was 17,
But
and it took that fight to get that, but that was his version of apology, was changing the behavior, versus my
yes.
mom's, well, I only did this because I love you or because of this or because of, no, you don't use because or but in an apology. You don't.
Right.
And so society is apologizing wrong all this time. Most people don't even know how to apologize right.
Well, yeah. And so there needs to be sincerity behind
Mm-hmm.
all the words that you use, whether it's I love you, whether it's I'm sorry. You have to have some type, there has to be sincerity plus perhaps a change in the behavior
Yes.
to facilitate a good relationship. You
Mm-hmm.
just don't say you're sorry and continue, beating the shit out of your kids. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry I hit you. You were being bad, so I'm going to beat you. You try other, means of conflict resolution
Yeah.
to, facilitate, changes. I mean, I, you know how bad I was brought up, and if
It's
it wouldn't
hard to
have been
break that
for,
cycle.
yeah, if it wouldn't have been that I was going to kill EJ for rearranging my silverware drawer at the age of 5 because things had to be just so, because that's the way I was brought up with things being just so. I, it, when that
I do know.
happened, that incident, yeah, when that incident happened and I stopped and said, who said that the spoons can't go where the knives are and the knives can't go where the forks are? Whoever said that? Whoever said that they got to fit in the silverware
Bingo.
slots that way? And I realized I had to stop. And from that point on, I was able to stop, thank God, the cycle of violence that I had
Yeah.
experienced. Now, that's not to say that they didn't get a smack here or there, or
Yeah.
at times of, necessity. I had EJ arrested twice in his life And I also had him by his neck lifted up off the ground, but we won't talk about that subject. But there are times when a well-disciplined action is needed to facilitate change in behavior of
And
your
a
child.
child. Yes.
Yes, I do believe that firmly. So,
Well, I've only had to slap my
fortunately,
daughter 3 times in her life.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've never had to lay hands. I've helped raise Jacob since he was born. I had him, you know, he was home with me on that weekend that they came home from the hospital.
Hmm.
So they live on the property. He's here. I
All the
might as well
time.
have him move in here. He might as well move in here and visit his parents. And I have the baby every day, so I'm a huge influence on their development.
Yeah.
And I've never had to lay hands. All I have to do is give the look, and they know. I mean, I've had people stop me, when I had the boys in a restaurant saying, "Oh my God, how is it that your children are so well behaved?" Or in a grocery store, "How is it that your children are so well behaved?" And,
Hmm.
we're looking at these animals right now that are doing these teen takeovers and these mobs. And, well, number one, my kids were never out at a mall at 1 o'clock in the morning. I
Oh,
never
mine wouldn't have
dropped
been
my
either.
children. Yes, I never dropped my children off at the mall at 12 o'clock at night to cause mayhem. What the
Well,
hell do
some
you
of these
think
kids
is
are
going to
taking.
happen?
There was a 13-year-old girl who took an Uber to one of these takeovers. Her parents had no freaking clue.
I don't know. You don't go in and open the door and check to see that your child's in bed or
Oh,
asleep
I
or
used to
whatever. I
all the
mean,
time.
I
I was
always do.
constantly,
Yeah, I
every time I
always
got up
did.
to pee, every time I got up to get a drink, I opened the door, open that door. They're both breathing. Okay, good. From the
Yeah,
day they were born.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, people.
the one
Be
time my daughter
responsible.
did take off, my daughter took off angry. She climbed out her window. I knew within, I'd say, 10 minutes that she had taken off. Didn't know which direction she
Right?
was. She had left her phone. I called the cops. By the time she came back, cooled off, they were in the yard waiting to help lecture about the dangers of just taking off.
Yes.
If you wanted to go for a walk to cool off, tell me. I got it. I understand.
Right.
Take your phone. I'll let you be. She assumed I wouldn't allow it. So she climbed out the damn window and took off. No, you could have been kidnapped. You could have been trafficked. It only takes 10 seconds to throw someone in the
Yes.
back of a van at most.
Yes.
I'm just,
Yeah.
and we're right off of Eight
Yeah. I
Mile,
know.
right off of
Yeah.
8 Mile that
I
leads
know.
straight to
Yeah.
75, another
I
mile and a half
know.
down the road.
Yeah. I know somebody recently that their nephew was walking home from school and a car pulled up with a woman in it and a
Mm-hmm.
girl that the kid knows from school.
Yep. They use
And they were
kids
like,
to
"Do you
help.
want to ride home?" Yes. And it's like, huh, what is
Mm-hmm.
this all about? Is this a war? Is this truly a friend offering a friend? But, things have become so in the media, negativity surrounding kids being trafficked that as was that Crown Target that made that comment that you don't know who your neighbors are or
Yeah,
we don't know
most
who's
people don't
driving
know
through the
anyone these
neighborhood.
days.
Right.
I
And
I
because of
recognize them. I don't
yes,
know them by name, and I
yes,
talk to them
yes,
here and there. But
right. But in this
that's
case,
yeah.
because we don't know who they are, do they have nefarious uh ideas against our children. And we
Hmm.
have to assume the answer is yes because of what we hear. It
Well,
might have been an innocent, we're going home, we'll give you a
hmm
ride. But is that really what was behind the ride?
well, and that's kind of
Was
like
that
something
behind us?
similar happened when my daughter was about 4 years old. We were at this little fountain water park type thing in the city hall. The city square fountains that people can go to.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Right.
my sister and my mom took my daughter. I was at work that day. I had to work. So they took the kids up there to cool off in the summer. And this older woman
Okay.
randomly comes up to my daughter and starts trying to convince her to walk off with her. If it weren't for my sister overhearing it and stepping in and having a security called, my daughter could have been kidnapped. It was like, thank God it was the day
Wow.
that my sister and my mother were being responsible and paying attention. I was appreciative of it. I give them
Right.
credit where credit's due. They did they did
Mm-hmm.
have moments where they were good. So I
Right.
don't want to constantly bash my family, but they did more wrong than good, unfortunately. But in that case, they stepped up really fast and got security there, got my daughter secured, and hurried home after it was all taken care of and security got reported and stuff. I don't think they ever found the woman, but my daughter was almost kidnapped at a water park where my sister and my mom were less than two, three, like I'd say less than 10 yards away. They were less than 30 feet away, and this woman
Mm-hmm.
had the nerve to try and kidnap a kid there. It, I don't know if I ever told my daughter the story. I think I might have, but yeah, she was almost kidnapped. And that's why, as a teenager, she sneaks out the window. I'm on high alert. I knew within 10 minutes that she was out the door. She had snuck off. And I
Right.
didn't know which direction she went. She was in her pajama pants and a tank top. Child, I get it. You are mad at me. But yeah, no, you take your phone with you everywhere because it gives us a starting
Right.
point of where you were last.
Yes.
Like, oh God, I think of the shit I did when we didn't, because again, I grew up in a time cell phones were not commonplace. I've talked to you about this. Sneak out the door, walk 2 miles, get in a car with a bunch of people, and go to a party.
That you don't even know. Yeah, that
Most of
you
them I
didn't
didn't
even
know.
know.
I'm lucky to have.
I
I'm
mean,
lucky to be alive.
the stuff I know, the stuff that I did that, yeah, the
And
stupidity, we
but of
think that
course,
we were invincible,
and our
right?
teenagers and the teenagers of every
Mm-hmm.
generation go through a stage where they know better than their parents. Well, in my case, I
Right.
actually kind of did in a few circumstances, but that's that's a whole nother thing. I emotionally and intellectually outgrew my mother when I was before I was a teenager. So
Right.
there's that. But yeah, I mean, and we even talked like, did my parents know? Well, if they knew, they never said anything, and they sure as fuck didn't give a shit to try and stop it.
Right.
So there's that too. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I tried to do better with my kids. My mother tried, and we talked about what led to me knowing she is a nutcase. I don't want to put it out there, but I mean, she tried to influence how I raised my kids. She called CPS on me constantly over the most retarded shit. I mean, it was bullshit, and they knew it, but they would not press charges against her for false claims, even though they should have. So
Right.
it was over the
Right.
top. It was way over the top. And so basically, every time I told her no or didn't do what she wanted, she would call CPS on me, trying to get
She
even,
would, yeah, she wasn't happy.
to
Right.
prove she was right and I was wrong. And they just laughed, and more than one case laughed and walked out the door. And they have to do their follow ups and shit for the paperwork.
Right.
But it was
Right.
it was insane. It was insane what she was doing, and they knew it. And they knew what I was going through trying to get away from it, to get on my own. Well, actually, she was staying with me, and the bills were in my name, the lease was in my name, and then she has the nerve to tell me how to live my life. Sorry, you have been living off of people my entire life. You lived off my dad, then you had boyfriends, then you started living off of us kids. Yeah, you have your disability, but you never lived or made. And when she did have her own place, I was called over every few minutes. Fix this, and I could finally get home. I go to do what I need to do at my place. Nope, come over. I need you to do this. I forgot to ask about it. Well, you were here, right? You didn't forget. You just don't want to be alone.
It was
This woman
all
cannot live in her
emotional
own head.
control.
Yeah, she can't.
Right. It was
She was,
emotional control.
yeah. It's
Yes.
literally, I said 38 years of abuse before I woke up and said, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
doing this no more.
Right.
with the help of child services, finally getting her out, and with the help
Mm-hmm.
of a therapist and family, my ex-husband's
Wow.
family, I was able to get the hell out of it. And it took a lot.
Okay. This
Go
is
ahead.
weird. So I just got up and all this talking we're doing. I got up to go put Eric's meds. While we've been talking, I've been getting his meds together, okay? I'm getting ready
Uh-huh.
to go put them where they go and put his bin of meds. And between my bedroom and the kitchen is a playing card. I don't have a deck of cards in my bedroom. Where the fuck did it come from?
Did Jake drop it at some
Somebody
point?
is Jake. He would know.
He didn't come in with.
It's
Okay,
not crazy. He was here, but Crazy B, I'm telling, it was not here. This card has not been here.
I
Eric
told you
was
you
in
have a
here. The card
guest.
was not.
What card is it? What card and what face?
I don't know, but hold on. Let me go set the stuff down. Jeez, what the hell, man?
I'm curious. I'm
I,
curious
I'm telling
which
you.
suit and which face on it.
Okay. Hold on. I forgot I'm
Don't
attached
fall.
to things. Hold on. Yeah, I know. Hold on. Oh, Lord,
But we've
help
had
me.
this kind of stuff happen all the time when we're talking. Random little things get moved. That
Yes.
necklace that randomly
Yes.
appeared on your neck. The child who chimed
Uh-huh.
in on us during that recording saying happy birthday.
Yes. Yes. That was on your end, I feel.
According to the
But we do believe that,
according to AI, it came from your
yeah,
end, but
it did. Okay.
according to
All
AI,
right. Hold
AI,
on. I'm
it came
still
from
not.
your microphone.
Okay. So bear with me. I'm just getting to the kitchen here. Let me get this
Oh
shit
no, it's
set
okay.
on
Don't
and
rush.
get the rubbish.
Do
Yep.
not rush
I was,
because you were just under
yeah.
anesthesia. I don't want a trip and fall situation. Never rush for me
There you
like
go.
that.
That that would be fun, right? Trip and fall.
No,
Lay on the
it would
floor.
not.
Lay on the floor like a whale and
No,
oh
no,
Lord.
no. Don't do that.
Face, go see Daddy. Go. The dog's finally decided he's getting up. Go see Daddy. Go. He forgot to go to the pharmacy to get the rest of the meds, so he's out of
Uh,
stuff. Okay, ready, people?
yep.
This is so freaking. This card, I'm not lying, was not here. Eric
If you
was
want.
in here twice
Mm-hmm.
with just his underwear on. The playing card was not here, and I do not have a deck of cards in my room, and there is not a deck of cards in the kitchen. So the only place I think the deck of cards are in the office. So
Okay.
here we go, and we're looking at the Jack of Hearts.
Interesting. We were talking about relationships earlier.
That's what we got is the Jack of Hearts, people.
It's funny how this happens.
Wow.
And I've had things happen at my house, microphone getting tapped while I'm not touching it, people stomping upstairs when
Who
no
put?
one's there,
I
door
don't
locks
care.
getting flipped.
Okay, you're missing the big picture here, Crazy B.
It's just randomly appeared out of
Yeah, we
nowhere.
were.
Yep.
Yeah. Why?
An
Who? How?
interdimensional. Oh, somebody threw it through the dimensions and it landed on your floor. Gambit in some other dimension. And if you don't know who Gambit is, I'm
What the?
sorry, I'm a nerd. Go look up the
I don't.
X Men. He's an
I
X Men
I
character.
do know.
His weapon of he can control
I know.
cards
Oh, I know X-Men. Why don't I know that
because
character?
he's a little
Is he
known
a
character.
minute?
He's actually a really powerful character, but not a very common one. He only shows up in a handful of places. Um, and he had his
Okay.
own series for a
I,
while in the books, like the comics. He had his own
really?
comics for a little bit. Yeah, he can control cards.
Okay.
So yeah, throwing cards at people and turning them into weapons. Awesome power.
Okay.
Quite powerful. Very,
Go
actually,
ahead and
really powerful.
yeah, go ahead and throw this up in the thing just so we have proof that what we're talking about is true and I didn't just pull this out of my ass.
Well, we really can't. I mean, I could show pictures of it, but it's not going to be
I mean,
proof. But yeah, I mean, for all we, well, no,
yeah,
I believe you. I believe you. Quite honestly. Let me save
like
it, and then
where,
I can
like
go ahead and pull it up.
it was just laying on the floor. I mean, like how, where? There's no deck of cards on
Uh,
anywhere. It's not on my
Crown
dresser. It's not
says
on this.
he's adding to it. So you have she has pets. She has two cats and a dog. No potential. It was moved by a pet that doesn't know what it's doing.
Nope. No, no. We're the only, in order for them to be, if they would have been anywhere, number one, there is not a deck of cards on my, anywhere near me. There's not a deck on my nightstand. There's not a deck on my dresser. As I said, the
Mm-hmm.
closest deck of cards is in the office, which is 3 rooms away.
Mm-hmm.
Eric did not have a deck of cards. He was not playing cards like find my card up my underwear. I don't think we ever played that game. Maybe it's a new game that we might need to play. I
Here's
don't
the
know, but
card,
you know,
the Jack of Hearts.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's the
I
card.
I always assume something on the lines of like, oh, a ghost did it. But I also you heard me. The first thing I said, did somebody drop it when they stopped in to say hi?
Yeah,
I'm going through the
nope.
usuals.
Yeah, nope.
I
Because
assume
if it
and
was a
work on
if
it
there, yeah,
scientifically.
yeah, if there would be something on the floor, I would have said, Jake, pick it up. Eric, when you go by, it's standing right there, pick up the card. There's a card on the floor. Pick
Uh
it up.
huh.
Where'd it come from?
It's just one of the many weird things that have happened in your house.
Oh, Lord, I
So
can't take
not
it.
slobbery.
Whoever,
Wink, wink.
yes, yeah. Whoever is like hanging around, please come on now. Like drop some money or something. Make it
They did
worthwhile.
lead you
Give
to
me a
money that one
dime from
time. They did lead you to that money that one time in your dad's wallet
that is
with the
true.
necklace.
Okay, yes, and the necklace. Okay. How about a coin from like the 18 or 1700s that's worth $1 million? How about that? That would be nice, right?
Something like that. Uh,
That would be cool. Although that did bring up, I do have, you're not going to believe this. You know how I am with electronics.
yeah.
Like, how long did I have the laptop before I got the laptop up and
Oh
running?
God,
Right?
it is still not fully up.
Okay.
I know. I'm like, get it set up right
Correct.
away. I'm a get it set
Okay.
up. It's good to go.
Right. So, like, I have the stuff for what, like the professional studio. Although I didn't realize I needed the plug-in headphones, so I did have to order that. But if I would have opened the box earlier, I would have realized that earlier, and we could have been more professional. That's only been over a year, right? There's that.
Yeah,
Okay, then I got a new tablet for my birthday in February, and I just got that opened up when? In
like a week
May,
ago,
right?
a couple weeks ago.
Right? Like yeah, like a couple weeks ago. So here's another thing. I have one of those metal detectors that I got
Uh
for
huh.
Christmas probably 6 years ago that I wanted to be able to go out onto the property because we have the original outhouse that was on the property that was away from the house. So somebody would have had to travel quite a distance to get from the house to the outhouse.
Yeah.
And I say that there's some valuable coins there. I say that if we go and would use the, you know, metal detector, that we would probably find
Uh
some
huh.
coins. But it's still in the box.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Crown Target's got a really good one to make matters worse. It would be super odd if the back of the card didn't match any decks you've seen in the house previously.
You know what, Crown Target? I didn't want to say that. Crown Target. Crown Target. How'd you know? Because all of the decks of cards in the house that I have all have pictures of some superhero. Like I have a deck of cards that are nothing but the Hulk. I don't have the back of the
So you don't
cards
have a
are
standard
red. I
plate. You don't
don't
have
have a
standard
red.
deck of cards.
I do not.
Oh shit.
I don't.
Yeah, it's coming from another
Well,
dimension.
how did he know?
I
How
would.
did he know?
I'm assuming that was sarcasm, but it happened to be accurate. I'm assuming that was like a
I
sarcasm,
didn't want to say
goofiness,
that.
being silly
Yes.
type of
I
thing.
did. Yeah, I didn't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to say it because I knew that
So
it was bad enough that you're not going to believe that there's a random card laying on the floor. I didn't want to say it doesn't belong to any deck of cards that I have. All my cards, probably 3 decks, maybe 4 at best, all are child related or, yeah, basically child related, like the Hulk,
yeah,
the Star Trek. There's a Star Trek deck. Yeah.
he says
Batman.
I've been known to be called the thief of joy. Sorry for the downer observation. It's not really a downer. It's more creepy. It's more of a creepy observation.
Yeah.
I didn't even think to ask it. I was actually kind of not trying to go there. I was trying to assume that you had a normal deck, or at least
He's
maybe.
more I would say he's more accurate than anything. There
Oh
is no
wow.
down or up or whatever. It's more accurate. That's funny.
Oh, that's funny.
That's
Blame
yeah.
the ghost.
I don't want. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who it is, or I can't. I can't. I
Well,
have.
you were talking about
I
your
don't know
dad
what
at
to
the
say.
pool hall, and cards get
This
played
is
at pool
true.
halls too.
And oh wait, and my dad was notorious for playing cards. They'd have a group of guys, and I served as the waitress. Yeah, it was funny.
There,
Yeah,
you're
they would.
taking
I
the
would.
necklace from your
Uh
dad
huh.
that led to his
Mhm.
wallet. A lot of
Mhm.
it seems to center around your
Yep.
dad.
Yeah, and I dreamt about my dad. Remember, I told you that the other day, and I never dream about him because he was the abuser in the. He was an
Oh,
extremely violent man.
not belonging, to be frank, adds storytelling credibility for it being potentially unnerving or supernatural.
Yeah,
I've had
it
shit like this
is. It's
happen here.
very. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. It's under. Yeah, I've been on the phone with you when it was the wall outlet thing. Remember?
Yes. And you were also on the phone
That
with
was
me when
weird.
that pendant thing on your headboard was
Yes.
swinging for no reason.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yes.
And then the pen
Yeah. I
that
keep.
disappeared and showed up and freaked you out really bad.
Yes. That was scary.
That was, and then the voice that we recorded when I showed that to you, that really creeped you out
Yes.
too. You've gotten better since then.
Yeah, I have. I. I don't know what it is or who the being is or
It's not hurting you.
where. No, nothing's hurt me, and they better not because that will.
How are you going to kick its
Yeah, we
ass?
don't
You
want to
can't
let.
see it.
I don't know, but Dee's violence will come out, and trust me, I keep it suppressed as best I can, and yeah,
Yeah. Oh.
I'll be telling you stories of me flailing at nighttime and shit. I'm punching the air and whatever. Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh God.
That'd be
It is
funny.
fun though when weird things like this happen and trying to, scientifically rule
It
it
is.
out. But how do you rule out something
Yeah,
that you
what?
don't even have that
Yeah,
entire deck to? So
yeah.
someone's missing a
Well, I
jack of
mean,
hearts
look at
somewhere.
this. Yeah, well, look at the stories of you know, me being at my grandparents' house and they had a toilet in the basement. I can't tell you how many times I was afraid to go down to go pee in that toilet.
Hmm.
One, because it was a maroon color toilet. Like, who the fuck had a maroon color toilet back in the
The
day?
70s,
But it was
the
tough.
50s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it was tucked behind the cellar steps. And my grandpap had dug out there were four basements, all huge rooms, and he had dug them all out by hand. So this toilet was tucked behind the cellar stairs, and it was scary to go back there. And I was always afraid. So uh, when we remodeled the house,
Mm-hmm.
Eric had put new ducts in going up along the chimney. So they ran from the second, the basement all the way up through the attic. And he had left an access panel in the middle bedroom, which happened to belong to EJ.
Uh-huh.
He never put a cover over the opening. So EJ used to be able to get in that opening, crawl down the frickin' chimney, down to the basement or up to the attic like a frickin' monkey. Okay?
Uh-huh.
But he will tell you stories of being afraid of that area. Okay? That he would hear voices and whatever. And so one day I'm telling this to my mother, and my mom's like, well, yeah, he's probably afraid because of the guy that hung himself. And I
Uh-huh.
said, the guy that what? She goes, yeah, there was a guy that hung himself when Grandma and Grandpa rented the upstairs out. He was an alcoholic and he killed himself. I said,
Oh
Mom, we've
boy.
been living in the house for how long? I've been going to their house for how long? I've been afraid of going pee down the cellar for how long? And you want to, and get this shit. We had a weight set, that
Mm-hmm.
had the bench press, it had the pull down bar and all that. My mother says to me, because my mom would come over and help do laundry or whatever, where you had the pull down bar, to lift weights up and down, that would move up and down, where
Uh-huh.
that pull down bar was, is the spot that the guy hung himself. I said, get the fuck out of here, Mom, you're lying. She goes, no, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma and Grandpap said that's the spot that the guy hung himself. I'm
Yep.
like, all this time I lived there. All this time this shit has been going on. EJ's been afraid. Why am I just hearing about this story? I couldn't believe it.
Because it was
So
too late and you're
then,
already living there.
yes, yeah. He's like, So then, we move out to where we're at, right? And I have
Mm-hmm.
this wild ass dream. Somebody's pounding on the door to get in. And I come downstairs, I pull back the curtain, and it's my grandpa. And I'm like,
Ooh.
what the fuck, man? I'm like, you're dead. What the fuck are you doing here? He's like, I want to come in. I'm like, I ain't letting you in.
Hell
You're
no.
dead. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
don't
like,
ever let
fuck
them
no,
in.
I ain't letting
Even in
you
a
in. You're dead.
dream.
I'm like,
Dream or
yeah. I'm
reality.
like, you're
No.
dead. Yeah. I'm like, you're dead. I'm like, I'm not letting you in the house. He's like, I want to come in. I'm like, I'm not letting you in. I watched him ascend steps up into heaven. I watched him and he left. So I'm telling my mother this dream and I'm like all upset and shit. And she's like, Dee, did you ever think that when you moved, he moved with you and that he had
Uh-huh.
been with you because you moved into his house and he was with you this whole time that he wanted to be with you? And I never thought of that. I was more afraid of the negativity surrounding death and all of that, all of the negatives about letting in evil spirits, blah blah blah, and
Mm-hmm.
he's dead and what the fuck's he want? Why is he pounding on my door? That it never dawned on me that he wanted to come in and be with me to give me love versus me
Well,
being
but
afraid
here's
of.
the thing. As someone who actually believes strongly in this kind of stuff, it could have been an evil spirit masking as your grandfather to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had too many
Yeah.
wild experiences. But Chrome Target
Yeah.
says, "Do let us know if it occurs again. Perhaps you can collect a whole set and then have be able to play an actual card game."
Round target.
He's great. I love
That's
I love
okay. I'll
talking to
pass.
Crown. He's a great
I know.
person.
I love it too. the current target. I don't know. I'm
52 more
thinking
times
that
ain't, well, 51 more times ain't that bad.
I know, but I'm not sure where I want to find these cards, and uh, we would have to make sure that they know that there's 52 different cards in the set. I wouldn't want to, keep getting jacks over and over. I think
Well,
I'll take a hard pass on that ground target.
uh, but speaking
I'm
of
just,
bizarre
I'm just
things, oh, go ahead.
blown away. Go ahead.
Well,
No,
one
I'm
of the
just blown
bizarre, oh,
away. I just,
the leg.
go ahead.
The strangest thing that had ever happened, and there were four people in the room when this happened, was when a loaf of bread shot off of our baker's rack, flew across the kitchen, and damn near hit my cousin in the chest. You cannot explain that with
Oh,
science.
wow.
You cannot
That's
explain that with
strange.
science. When I had the bottle of Benadryl chucked across the room, only thing to come off the TV
Right. I
was the bottle of
remember the
Benadryl,
Benadryl.
and it flew across the room, bounced off the wall, and
Right.
landed on the couch as I was walking to the kitchen. Science does not explain this. There are things I like. I
Right. Well,
literally have tried to rule it out.
how's that saying go? Bounces off of me and sticks to you. Well, thank
Oh,
God it
that's for
worked
the
that way.
I'm rubber, you're
So
glue.
yeah,
Whatever you say and do
yeah,
bounces off of me and sticks to
yeah.
you. God,
There
I
you go.
remember that.
Right.
I'm old. Do kids even know
Okay.
that these
Now,
days?
Crown Tart. I don't know. Crown Target says there was a similar plot movie not too long ago. I forget the title, but spoilers. It was the 12-year-old petulant daughter making fake noises and moving things when no one was looking. Well, I'm
Well,
the only one
there's no
here, Crown
petulant 12-year
Target.
old daughter.
No, nope. And there's
Unless
nobody
it's the
here,
ghost of a
so
petulant daughter.
true.
Uh, no,
I
but
mean, I don't
it is
know.
fun.
You know what is interesting, though? That is a fascinating thought, though. There's rumors that there were nine people. So when we bought the place, it was an old farmhouse that was only four rooms, which technically was only three and a half because the other half was a bathroom. But prior to that, so you have to figure it was a four-room house because the original outhouse was on the property, and the area was known for there were Indians in the vicinity, but they didn't live in the house, obviously. But
Hmm.
there were stories that there were nine people that slept in one of the bedrooms upstairs.
I
It's
can
not
believe it.
far fetched what Crown Target is. It's not far fetched what he's saying that there's a 12-year-old petulant daughter. Maybe.
Uh,
That's wild.
it's
That's
funny how
wild.
we could come up with these things, but if it was Native American,
Theories.
there is also the skinwalkers that are notorious amongst Native American tribes, or a version of a
Yeah,
skinwalker that also could have been your
yes.
grandfather in the dream and or reality knocking on a door. You just don't let people in. I learned quite
Right.
young because of, well, I know I've told you before, and I've said it on the live. I have the ability to see things that other people don't see. Looked it up, found out that the woman with half her head missing in Walmart was a person, and there was a backstory. I'm not going to put it all out there, but the fact is that I had to learn to block it off because it was causing me severe anxiety. Good luck getting through a damn
Right.
store when you don't know what's in the next aisle. Unless you see the, and again,
Right.
I don't like going shopping without other people, because if my family doesn't respond to it, then I know it's not, it's something abnormal. I put myself in therapy
Right.
thinking I was
Right.
schizo. I literally, from the age of 16, I had myself in and out of therapy because at some points I thought I was schizo, and it took a therapist to reassure me I wasn't and help do the research on some of the things to realize I wasn't. And I just see weird things, spirits, ghosts, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Some people call them demons. I don't know. All I know is they were once, some of them that we were able to find were once people. So,
Right.
again, unless the person walks through an aisle, like one of the actual shelving things, or like, half the head missing type of thing, you I can't tell the difference. They look like a real person. Remember the one I told you about, where we lived in the same town on the other side of town in an apartment? There was a it made my
Mm-hmm.
blood run cold. This had to have been a demon, but the only reason I knew it was not real is because the jumpin' Joey hanging in the door frame was hanging through the guy. Otherwise, I would have thought there was an
Mm-hmm.
intruder, and it made my blood run
Mm-hmm.
cold. Let us know if
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Swayze peeks around the corner looking to throw some raw clay. I couldn't even finish reading it. I mean, in this,
Only, you know what? Wait a second. I will
oh,
wait until he actually has his arms wrapped around me and we're molding a vase, and
I
then
just
I'll
want him to
let you
throw
know
clay
how
at.
it went.
I want him to still throw clay at Whoopi Goldberg on The View. Just let a big old wad of clay hit her in the
There
face
you
on The
go.
View. That would make my day.
There you
Um,
go.
him calling her a moron.
Yeah,
Oh,
that would be kind of epic as well too, right? If
oh,
he only knew back then. But I'll
yeah,
still go for the I'll wait till he wraps his arms around me. So well, there's
yeah.
that. So
But
Eric, you'll just have to step aside for the evening.
but like I
What
grew
can I
up
say?
seeing and hearing things that other people didn't see or hear, and it
Right.
was always really strange and stuff. But like when how salacious. But when like you see a loaf of bread fly across the room at someone, and then me and my cousin did start talking, and she saw the woman in the nightgown in my house too that I saw, and my daughter had now wants to blame science, but there were things that were inexplicable, like her damn doll randomly switching to Spanish under her bed and talking in the middle of the night to the point it drove me crazy, and I removed the batteries. We actually had someone come in, a ghost investigation group, and they caught on an EVP. They asked what was in the house, "Do you know these people know you're here?" And it responded, "No shit." I kid you not. I wish I had the disc. My mom has it, but it literally responded, "No shit." And it sounded like my cousin's dad. This is a different cousin that this happened with, because it had been his
Yeah.
house at one point. My cousin wanted to move to a different state, so we kept up with the house and the payments while she was out of state.
Hold on a
And,
second, Crazy V. Hold on. Eric,
mhm.
you didn't take your meds. And make sure that you take Tuesday night because it has the last of your meds since you didn't go to the drugstore. Tuesday night, evening, Tuesday evening. That's
Danny
the
just
moon, correct?
bailed. Danny
That's the
wants.
right amount.
Oh, I'll wait till you're done.
Hold on, crazy. Yeah,
Yep.
hold on. Let me make sure. Okay. All right. I love you. Good night. What time do you got to
Danny.
be up? Early?
Oh,
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Crazy B. He's
so
going to
Danny
bed.
wants me to relay a story because he's too chicken to relay it himself to the microphone, but he's standing right here, about when we were in the apartment where I had that crazy dude make my blood run cold, the demon thing. And engine flying. Yes, there was. He had a model of a die-cast steel model of a 426 Hemi, and every time my nephew would walk in front of the TV where we had it, it would slide off and almost hit my nephew in the head. I had to pull him back more than once before he got clobbered with this thing, and it weighed about 5 pounds. I finally had to put it in a drawer in our bedroom. Then there was that night we had when Buddy was 3 months old. We had like 8 tornadoes hit our county in one night. And the guys were standing on the porch, Danny and his stepbrother, that was married to my sister at the time. And my sister and I were in the doorway, and they're on this balcony that leads to our front door. And a black shadow came from this walkway to the stairs. It came up the first flight of stairs, came across the landing, ran up the second flight of stairs, jumped between you and your brother over the balcony, and disappeared into the ground below. And also, you start seeing a black. The black shadow in the ground is still there. to this day. Well, the black circle, like a spot where it went in, and they've power washed this thing, and I believe it's still there. They went and checked recently. It's still there, and that
Wow.
and then my sister woke up in the middle of the night when she was staying with us for a while, and over my nephew's bed was a big black shadow. She put her hand in it. There was a pressure change and she couldn't see her hand. She started screaming and woke up the entire household. And we went running in to see what was going on. And she told me this apartment was severely haunted. When we moved out of it and we moved into the apartment below it, the toilet seat would slam, the lights would come on and off. So it sounded like someone stomping around, to the point I called the landlord and asked if someone had moved in. And he's like, no, it's still
Uh-huh.
empty. And I'm like, dude, well, you might want to have the police check on it, make sure no one's up there doing any damage, because it sounds like someone's up there. He sent someone, police checked it. No one living there, not even a squatter. And we were right underneath
Wow.
where we were. So I'm not kidding when I say I have witnesses to supernatural things we cannot explain at all. And so it's like, there was a time, that time when my one nephew was staying over before we moved down here, and it sounded like all the pots and pans fell down the stairs. I got up running with my gun, thinking someone came through the back door and knocked over some pots I had on a ledge going to the basement, and there was nothing. The cats, actually, I have the security camera footage on my computer, or no, on my phone. I have it somewhere, and it freaked the cats out. We were in the middle of moving, so we were getting ready to move. So everything was up on the counters. Everything was out of the cupboards, ready to go into boxes because we were getting ready to move.
Right.
And this crash just happens. I literally am running with a gun, thinking someone came through the back door. It's on security camera. And you see the cats just dart out of the kitchen. They go running, but they weren't the ones that knocked anything over. And I looked, there were no pots and pans down the stairs.
Hmm.
And it was really freaky. You hear me even say, what the F is going on? So, it's again, some of those things that happen. I have caught some of this on camera. We have the recording of the kid's voice in the podcast that we were pre-recording. That episode is still up. I can't
Yeah.
remember which one it is. I'll have to go find it. But we didn't even find
Right.
it till
It is
editing.
up. Yes, it is.
I didn't find
Right.
it till editing, and I left it in.
Yeah, we didn't
Um,
know. Yeah. Yeah, we
Not a
didn't know.
freaking clue. So there's a scavenger hunt for you guys. Go watch all our old videos and see if you can find it.
I don't,
But
I'm not sure it'll do that, but there's a
but
challenge.
it narrows it down because it's a pre-record.
You know what? I'll tell you what, anybody that finds it and you put it up on the Discord, we'll send you a $10 Amazon gift card if you can find it.
So yeah, I've literally my entire life has been situations like this. And evidently, this kind of thing where
And
you
you
can
hold
see and hear
on one
things is
second,
strong in my
Crazy
family.
P. Crazy
Uh huh.
P. Hold on. And what's today's date? Let me see the calendar. Hold on. It's
July
the
7th,
7th.
7
You
7,
okay, you have until Friday the 17th to get it put up. So
10
Crazy B,
days.
if you'll make the 10 days, if you'll put that up in the Discord as a little
I'll put it up
what
as
you
an
call it
event.
thing on the cat. Yeah, and as an event,
Mm hmm.
whoever finds it, you have to identify the episode with the date. We'll send you a $10 gift card.
Mm hmm. Okay.
And if you haven't done so already, I haven't noticed the bot go by, so I'm going to go drop the link to the Discord right now in YouTube. And uh, you know what? I don't even think I welcomed everybody. So when we get ready to say
We
goodbye,
did.
we will. But we did. I don't
Mm
remember
hmm.
because I'm fucked up and high still. Uh, so it's up on Discord right now, and I'm going up on Rumble right now. I think this is us. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you say we did. Okay, so I just dropped it in Rumble. So there you go. If you haven't done
And
so
event
already,
is created.
Discord, there you go. The event's created. So have at it.
Lots of fun, folks. Lots
I
of
can't,
fun.
yeah, I can't even say, give you like a rough idea where it was. Do you remember like a rough idea even?
No, honestly, we've done so much since then. I have no clue.
Yeah,
I have no clue.
there is
I
an
cannot
idea
remember.
that I do all of a sudden. We're fucking stupid. We're
Well,
fucking
let them find
stupid.
it. Don't give it away.
Well,
Just know it was
I
within
know.
the first
I'm
year.
not.
I'm about to
No,
file
I'm
a
not gonna
restraining
wait.
order on Dad with how he
When
was
we
harassing me.
when we hang up, when we're done with this live, I'll tell you why we're fucking
I'm gonna
stupid.
beat the
Okay,
crap out of you to
I'll
your
tell
I'm
you
face,
why
sure.
we're
boy.
stupid. I just gave $10 away.
What do
That's
you mean?
okay. Oh my god, that's too fucking. This is hysterical. This is freaking
Oh, Crown
hilarious.
Target added. He says we didn't have talking dolls, stuffed animals growing up. My sister and I thought they were too creepy.
So you didn't have a Furby?
No, those Furbies. Oh my god, I wanted to take hammers to every one of my friends' Furbies. God, they were annoying.
Yeah, that had them. You do realize we're 46 minutes
Oh,
over.
yes, we are, and we didn't even cover a single freaking thing we had in the list.
So you know
But
what
we had
that
so
means,
much
don't you?
fun. We had so much fun to having all these
That means you have to
conversations.
change the thumbnail.
No, I don't. It can be what it is,
You
and we'll
can
just
leave
have a part three.
well, but they'll think it's related to the 4th
Good.
of July
And
and
then
it's
they
not.
get wrapped up in our
You know what?
conversation.
Well, no, what I would do is just cross it off and say we didn't talk about a damn thing
Oh,
related
we
to the
could do
4th
that.
or
Oops,
something
never
to that
mind. We
effect.
we went off the
Yeah.
rails. I could do it.
Yep.
Put an X through it and do an oops,
Yeah,
never
there you
mind. We
go.
went off the
Yeah.
rails, like I did before.
There you go. That works.
You're
Yeah, there you
given
go.
more if you don't preface
I'm
it
gonna
with the first
kick you
person to
so
find it.
hard, you'll be laughing silly. You're the one being retarded.
All right. Well, I'm done, Crazy B. I think
Use
I've
your
had it
turkey.
for the
No,
night.
you can't.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
So
No, you can't.
we
It's my
will be
charger.
back tomorrow at 6
He's
p.m.
being
Eastern
retarded.
Standard Time. And I promise that I won't let Crazy B derail the program like
It
she
wasn't
always does.
just me. It was not just me. You had a
Yeah, it
card
was.
show up. You had a card show up. That was not me.
I know. But thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. We welcome everybody from YouTube, Rumble, X, Spotify,
Twitch.
and Twitch. We post on Instagram, Blue Sky, Truth Social, TikTok. Again, we're still not on Facebook. Maybe someday. We appreciate everybody's support in all of our efforts that we're doing. So we greatly need, since nobody's contributed a penny to our efforts, please, you could hit the like button, the follow button. That greatly
Share.
gets us up out of the algorithm. Please subscribe, comment respectfully, or Crazy B will kick you. Set your notifications, and more importantly, share the video to others, even if you don't like us, they might. And join the Discord. That's the only way you'll get the $10 gift card if you find it. The
If you
Discord
want the
has a
$10
lot of
gift
things
card.
that go on. Yeah, the Discord has things that we don't do here on the channel. So please give us a follow up there, and we will see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Crown Target says, shh, the card is quietly content.
Okay. Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yes,
I'm
it
going
is.
to tell you. Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, I was
I
just
was
going
going
to
to do
say, go
my
ahead,
closeout
Crazy B.
thing. Okay, I'm going to tell y'all to stay safe, stay sane, stay sober. Feel free to share this. Sometimes we are on serious topics, other times we go like this and we just free flow the day. And thank
Yep.
you to everyone. We've had upwards of, I think it was 10 people who've watched throughout the live. We have 5 actively watching right now. So thank you to all of you guys. Share this if you had fun and you enjoy random things that derail political talks or just us brainstorming how to deal with the politics and the idiots in the world. Um, Share it, give a follow. We really do appreciate that. And as always, just be respectful. Otherwise, I will give you the equal amount of respect in return. Well, either way, I'm going to give you equal amount of respect in return. So however you behave is how I will behave back. So, anyways, y'all behave,
There's
and we'll
that.
catch y'all on the
There's
next
that.
one.
All right, everybody. Have a good night.
I am half close to bringing Pop to the